Podcast, only small, limited government, constitutional conversations, exclusively on MoJo 50. We get into foreign policy. We get into national politics. We get into constitutional, libertarian, conservative ideology. We put the brakes on the media spin by destroying the lies, dismantling the narratives, and bringing you the stone-cold hard truth. Every weekend on MoJo 50. Join me, Adrian Slade, for a raging hour-long discussion, deconstructing the headlines and delivering you the entire full story. Only on MoJo 50. Live free.
While we run train on the progressive agenda, does she know she speaks straight? Didn't they get mad at Brett Kavanaugh over the whole run train thing?
They got mad at him for liking beer.
Brandon Morse, today at 1. MoJo 50.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us, our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com, use promo code DOC, and get 15% off your purchase. That's neverforgottenapparel.com.
Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. The mothership has landed. Doc Thompson. Brad Staggs. The mighty MoJo 50.
A farmer and his son had a beloved stallion who helped the family earn a living. One day the horse ran away and their neighbors exclaimed, "Your horse ran away, what terrible luck." The farmer replied, "Maybe so, maybe not. We'll see." A few days later, the horse returned home, leading a few wild mares back to the farm as well. The neighbors shouted out, "Your horse has returned and brought several horses home with him. What great luck!" The farmer replied, "Maybe so, maybe not. We'll see." Later that week, the farmer's son was trying to break one of the mares, and she threw him to the ground, breaking his leg. The villagers cried, "Your son broke his leg. What terrible luck!" The farmer replied, "Maybe so, maybe not. We'll see." A few weeks later, soldiers from the National Army marched through town, recruiting all of the able-bodied boys for the Army. They did not take the farmer's son, still recovering from his injury. Friends shouted, "Your boy is spared. What tremendous luck!" To which the farmer replied, "Maybe so, maybe not. We'll see." Of course, the moral of that story is that you just never know. You never know what events transpire, what, in this case, technology transpires. It is of technology I speak today. Technology that can be used for good and for bad. I speak not of the border wall and the crisis that continues there. I speak not of the presidential race and the army of contenders who seem to have gathered at the wall. I speak not of foreign relations. No, I speak of something far more important this morning. I speak of the technology you carry in your pocket. Specifically, the Target app. You know, Target retailers have been screwing you.
Maybe so. Maybe not.
They actually had to update their smartphone app Wednesday last week after a Minneapolis TV station reported that as you pulled into the parking lot of Target and you looked up an item on your Target app on your phone, it displayed a price. The closer you got to the store and the fact that you got into the store, the price actually went up. In one case, $150.
That's their prerogative. That's fine.
That's stunning, though, when you think about that. A viewer complained about the price switch. KAR-TV started a 2-month investigation into the criticism. They chose 10 different items at random. Reporters kept an eye on the Target app, found that 4 of the items jumped in price when they walked into the store. An Apple Watch band went up $2. A Shark vacuum went up $40. A Graco child car seat $72. And a Dyson vacuum shot up $148 on the app once the people got into the store.
Dyson vacuums, they really suck.
I see what you did there.
There you go.
I see what.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I see what you did there. In total, the 10 items on the list, $262 cheaper if you stayed in the parking lot.
Got to get the butts in the door.
Do you think that's right? Being able to
It's capitalism, baby. That's what we do. We wind up, a little hook, pull you in. It's not, you leave something like that, it's fine. If a retailer, if any kind of corporate company out there or private mom and dad wants to screw you over, let them do it. If we are the suckers and we wind up falling for it, great. It's our right to not continue to buy there. So if Target, makes some money, great. If they go out of business, great. I think it's all about consumer choice.
It's just so disappointing to see Target.
Yes, Target.
The leading French retailer in this country, do something like this, because I want to believe Target is on my side.
No, they weren't their side when they got Starbucks in there. That's when I knew Starbucks or Target was.
It's so convenient.
Oh, you got to go. Do you guys have
so convenient?
Do you have what's not Sam's Club? What is the Costco? Do you guys have Costco out here?
Oh yeah.
That's all I care about.
Costco's
they're hot dogs. That's why I go there.
Oh, I don't know. Well, they obviously they can't afford it. I mean, it's a lost leader. But yeah, the pizza. Do you know the
caskets?
Have you
Costco caskets?
Yeah, they sell everything. Yes. Cars from cradle to grave, literally.
I just thought of rental caskets. When
I know, right? By the way, they have a disposable liner in rental caskets. I didn't know that. Things I've learned.
A disposable liner?
Yeah. Well, you don't want to set another dead body in top.
Oh, no, I got that.
You don't want to take one body out and then put another body where there has been a dead body. I mean, that's
Is there
gross.
not a disposable liner in any casket? I'm just asking. I don't know.
Well, why would there be? Because you're going to stick it in the ground.
Well, I guess disposable. That would, by its very definition, is disposable.
Right. I guess maybe I should use the term removable.
Removable liner.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
That's better. Target did say, we appreciate the feedback we recently received on our approach to pricing within the...
In other words, sorry we got caught. That's all it is.
As you approach, our pricing goes up.
It is better to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission.
Our approach to pricing within the Target app. This guy should run for president.
Why not? He would add to the list. He would add to the list of all the Democrats who are now running.
This was an emailed statement to the television station. We've made a number of changes within our app to make it easier to understand pricing and our price match policy. So they're going to make it easier for you to understand that as you get closer to the store, prices are going to go up. And you're right. You're absolutely right. It's their right to raise and lower prices as they see fit. And if they can soak you for another $10 before you get through the front door, good for them.
And if they go out of business, so be it. Stop whining about it. I'm not a fan of all these companies out there who are, Target won't sell to me because I'm a, X, Y, and Z, insert whatever you want to be. So don't shop there. And if Target goes out of business because you get all your friends not to go there, so be it. Target will learn its lesson. But I am so not a fan of us as consumers dictating what somebody sells us and how they sell us.
They should be able to do whatever they want.
Well, that's how I live my life.
Prices of products sold at Best Buy, Macy's, Walmart did not change based on geolocation.
Because if it's not a Macy's, you go to Gimbals.
We don't have Gimbals down here.
No, I don't think too many people will get that reference at all.
Yeah, so that's all right. Pretty soon, I tell you, it is homogenous. The country is becoming more and more homogenous. When I was working,
what preference is that?
I'm just saying
with cows.
With regard that too.
There you go.
With regard to stores, when I did stories for the Nashville network back in the late 90s, back when rocks were soft and dinosaurs roamed the earth, you'd go to different little towns and the stores you'd see different stores in every part of the country. Now it doesn't matter where you go. You see a Target, you see a McDonald's, you see a Subway, you see a Jersey Mike's.
I had to wonder coming down here, does Texas have color TV? And I'm going down,
and it's free.
And I'm going down the because I'm an arrogant guy from Chicago. I'm going.
So I wore my hat today.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It should say Toilet City, not Chicago. But as I'm driving down, what do you guys got? The 121 here.
Yep.
I'm seeing stores, big box stores and whatnot, and I'm like, oh, they have civilization here.
Yeah,
so it's pretty impressive.
And we have access roads, so you never really have to get on the freeway.
No, you guys do it right here. You guys do it very right here.
I'm telling you, you can go anywhere and never get on the freeway. You can take the access roads everywhere. It's an amazing part of the country with a lot of land. All right, so that's the story of technology being used maybe not in your best interest.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Common Sense Train for Reform sleeve says that actually, correcting you and I, gimbals went out of business in 1986. That would be the Miracle on 34th Street reference. Oh, by the way, what kind of wood doesn't float?
Natalie wood. Thank you.
Waka waka.
In Minneapolis, a man by the name of Jerry Westrom, he's 52 years old. He has been charged with second-degree murder in the death of 35-year-old Jeannie Ann Child. Her body was found in her apartment. This murder took place in 1993. So what, 26 years ago?
I was 18, yeah.
26 years ago, this murder was committed. He was just arrested. They opened the cold case, and this is technology being used in a positive sense. The detectives looked at the cold case. They took new DNA samples. They ran them through an online genealogy website, which turned up Jerry Westrom as a possible suspect.
And he was 124th Cherokee?
It's absolutely possible. Then the investigators used the interwebs to determine where Westrom would be in public. They secretly trailed him to his daughter's hockey game in Wisconsin in January.
You are not safe from anything. Government knows when I'm pooping. All the time.
Jerry Westrom gets a piece of pizza, let's say, at his daughter's hockey game. Grabs a napkin, eats said pizza, gets a little pizza sauce on his mouth there, takes the napkin, wipes off his mouth.
They snatched it up and
throws the napkin in the trash can. They proceeded to grab said napkin from trash can, run DNA tests on that, and connected him to the killing directly.
Done in by a piece of pizza 26 years after the fact.
Pizza will kill you.
No. I will never betray pizza because pizza will never betray me.
Trains, pizza, whatever it takes.
So Saddle Tramp kicked in the face on Twitter says that Texas even has indoor plumbing for some years now, by the way.
Oh, yeah, it's true. We got rid of outhouses.
No, I've been testing it. Trust me. I've been testing it.
And it works. Westrom's lawyer, Stephen Meshbesher.
Who?
Meshbesher. That's a hell of a name. Told the court that Westrom had lived in Minnesota his entire life, was not a flight risk. According to documents, the victim's naked body was found in her apartment in an area known for prostitution. She'd been stabbed multiple times all over.
What I was looking for out here. You talking about the service roads and whatnot?
Oh, yeah.
I got time to kill between midnight and 5 a.m.
You won't find them in beautiful downtown Haltom City. I mean, this is the city with the home to the beautiful MoJo River, the crystal blue waters flowing through it. We do not have
ladies of the evening
such capitalism here.
Yes,
however, if you move one city over, that's where you'll find.
Are they clean?
If you dunk them in the river first, yeah. The case was reopened in 2015 by a Minneapolis homicide detective and an FBI special agent. They decided to take another look because of said advances in DNA testing. That's pretty amazing.
All that stuff, and it makes you wonder if they selectively choose which cases to solve as far as time goes on. You're going to solve some 26-year-old case in Minnesota to wherever on a napkin and a pizza stain. And what kills me is how they by process of assumption and deduction of websites, they figured out where he was going to be and when he was going to be. And you're going to tell me we still can't figure out who killed Kennedy?
Oh, they know. They know who killed Kennedy. That's why they keep that. Didn't they release all the documents but redact them?
Redacted. Yes,
everything.
yes.
It's insane.
Yes.
Technology is a wonderful thing. I still don't know. I was watching Terminator the other night. I still don't know if we're almost to Skynet.
Skynet, yeah.
What was the I think the date in Terminator was 2029.
When she's sitting on the playground and it all fries up and everything.
At the opening there, when all the machines come. I'm pretty sure it's 2020. So we have
I'm okay with
10
that.
good years left before the machines take over. Which, I don't know.
That's fine by me. Yeah, but
Good,
if it's those Japanese-built sex robot machines, though, die happy men.
Combine those with the little robots that make cars. You ever watch those?
The arms, automated arms. Right.
It's just...
Right.
They're a trip to watch because they look like they're alive.
Trust me, it's scary, but feel good.
Latex sex dolls. Is this a great world or
It's
what?
only $40 you have.
On the other side of the third side of the coin, the IBM's 6-year-old AI debater, which is a master debater, lost to a human last week.
There you go. Proof once again that AI doesn't know anything because they can't freeform think. They can't go in the motion.
Not yet.
It's too much. You will never outdo human ingenuity. You will never because there's emotion played in the fact of a human being, played in the role of a human being, properly done, not like voting Democrats, will absolutely trump anything. You could come up with 50 billion different variables, but human emotion will always trump that.
Well, this was a debate. It was a 25-minute debate over preschool subsidies. That's what they chose the subject matter to be. But here's the thing: the human won based on a human panel. There were a panel of quote unquote experts sitting there. So the humans judged the debate and whether or not the AI won or defeated the human. So I think there may have been a little bias there.
I wonder when the AI robots are going to have genderless rights too.
Oh, that's coming.
Well, wait a minute. Have you seen what was it, the Robin Williams film, Bicentennial Man?
That's right.
That was a great movie. Number one, makes me cry every time. Number two, yep, he was deemed human by the end of the film. Spoiler alert.
And Kurt Russell dies.
What? He wasn't in that.
So just an old reference.
Oh,
there was another. There's another movie, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's a big twist at the end of it. I can give away the end of it because I can't remember the title of it, but it turns out that the war is being fought by the invaders in this war are humans, and the people that you've been coerced into being on their side the whole time are actually the AI robots.
Wasn't that the Tom Cruise film?
No, was it
Tom Cruise film? And he's the last person on Earth with not Emily Blunt, because that was another great movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, that was I can watch that 50 million times.
Oh yeah, I love that.
That movie is unbelievable. But it was right around that time before they came out. So turns out he's a drone. Spoiler alert himself, or he's a clone.
Right.
But
drone clone.
Yeah, he's on the Earth trying to clean
up. That's not Vanilla Sky, is it?
No, that's another great movie. You got to watch that one, and you're like, oh my God.
I haven't seen that one
either.
either.
That's messed up. Oh, you haven't seen Vanilla Sky?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I'll see if I can find what that is. You think it's a Cruise movie?
It is, I think it's a Tom Cruise film from the last couple of years. And
I don't think Tom Cruise is the one that I'm thinking of. It's
well, I'll just go F myself.
It's not the one where Tom Cruise meets himself in a different sector.
No,
that's what I'm. Yes, that's it.
That was with.
This is a different one. This is it turns out that they are the AI beings that have basically run the humans off the planet, and it's the humans coming back.
Look, you know the jackholes are right now going, okay, guys, here it is.
I got a man crush on Tom Cruise. The guy's fantastic. Minus his religious philosophies. Oblivion's the name of the movie.
Yeah, is it Oblivion?
Well, that's the name of the movie. And the premise, let's see.
That's the one that I was talking about, right?
Right, because he meets himself. A veteran assigned to extract Earth's remaining resources begins to question what he knows about his mission and himself. And he basically goes cleaning up the Earth and all this crud, and he runs into Morgan Freeman.
Andy Dufresne.
Oh, yes.
Crawled through a mile of filth and came out clean on the other side. I miss my friend, Andy Dufresne.
You do a great Morgan Freeman, dude.
You got me aroused. Oh, my God.
I like to do that to you.
Boy, it's not wrong. Hairs in the back of my neck stood up and something else did, too.
Hey, you still got lead in the pencil. That's a good thing.
Wrong. Thank you, Stephen English. Oblivion. Thank you.
Is that okay? That's the movie you guys are talking about.
But that's relatively recent, though.
Yeah, this is not. Oblivion is not the one I'm thinking of.
Hollywood has done nothing original in years anyway, so I'm sure it's got to be a remake of something.
Somebody who is screaming it at us out there, just tweet. It's not Oblivion. It was. I think it was a Netflix original movie. Yeah, it's not the one with Tom Cruise.
There is 1-0 or something like it's 10 or 1-0 or whatnot. If it is Netflix original, I really don't watch those because I'm trying not to support them, even though
Oh, Netflix is great.
You know what? After saying it yesterday, you're like, oh, yeah, my free Netflix. I'm like, you know what? He does have a point. There are some really good things on Netflix, but I just don't like the...
If it's not Netflix, it's going to be Amazon Prime or Hulu, and they're all a bunch of progressive, so what's the difference?
Nothing. They regulate exactly what goes to your eyeballs.
Yeah.
Brad, that's called Extinction.
Extinction, thank you.
Yes.
Oh, what year was that from?
It's a recent, but you're right. It was a Netflix
original. Yeah. And sorry to ruin it for you. Now you know how it ends, but it's a great movie. And if you can just erase what I just said, when you watch it, you'll be blown away.
You know, Jack Hole Angry Beaver. Let me explain something to you. She puts up a picture of Ted, whatever his name was, the Asian guy from the Vegas movies where they're all drunk.
Hangover.
Yeah, and
that's
she's got
Dr. Ken.
She put up, Ken, Dr. Ken. And she says, how would anyone know if Izzo got aroused? You know, Angry Jack Hole, I was going to sit there and say on behalf of MoJo 50, we are all heartfelt for your loss with your father. But you know what? You know, my penis and me say, hey, sorry about your dad, but you can go pound salt.
I am surprised that your penis...
That picture of Dr. Ken, he's got his eyes squinted, hold his...
It has your manhood has its own Twitter account.
I noticed that, and it's here. It isn't me. It isn't me.
Well, that's right. My poop has its own Twitter account, and it's not me. There's Dominick's penis, or there's Izzo's penis, Ron's poop, and Matt's vocal cords.
I love
oh my God,
this audience. Beyond words, I love this group of jackholes. I wanted to do a funeral card update there. Ron, how many do... We say all the ones
all 50 of them that we had available yesterday are gone. They were gone relatively quickly.
I may have a secret stash of a couple more. So they will be.
If your name's already in, then quite honestly, we already have more than your secret stash, I think, too. So I got another 9 this morning.
Stop emailing for the damn cards. Good grief. You give something away free and everybody stands in line.
We may do something different, but everybody who's emailed, look, if you don't get the card, we'll at least send you some decals. So thank you for emailing. It's not the same. We understand.
If you don't get the beautiful words that were written upon the card, we'll send you some stickers from a radio station. Shut up and enjoy them and put them everywhere you can. You know what we could do is send them MoJo 50 business cards, and then just wherever you go to lunch, just drop one on a counter.
Yeah, we could do that. Those blue ones, I bought new boxes of those. So
Ron said box.
Whatever.
Ron has said box twice this morning.
He's depraved. And the site-wide sale, is that still going on at MoJo50.com, by the way? We still have the 10% off. Is that through this Friday?
Yeah.
So we're ending it Friday?
We'll end it at the end of the month, Brad.
Oh, at the end of the month? Yeah. Sure. Wow. We're giving them away. And you don't have to enter a promo code. It's just 10% off wherever you go on the site. MoJo50.com. We got some great T-shirts and athletic supporters and thongs.
Thongs?
Remember when thongs you could wear on your feet?
I recall that. No, I don't recall when thongs first came out. I think I recall when I first discovered them as a male who was interested in the undergarments of a lady.
How'd they fit?
Oh, my God.
Did you enjoy wearing them?
They're smooth.
I bet your story's better than mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I found mine in the laundry basket when I realized my daughters were wearing them.
Oh, I can't. No, I can't go there. No.
Hold on a minute. Hang on a minute. I got that one right there. Yes, we definitely needed the Amy Schumer. Thank you. Yes, we should keep the Amy Schumer sound effect on the iPad because that one does come in handy occasionally. Yeah, the two things you never want to think about your kids that way or your parents. Either one.
Wow. Yeah. I don't have kids, but man, you don't want to. I know my parents listen to this, but I'm sure it's beautiful between the two of them.
Don't think I didn't play the dad role and go, okay. What in the hell is this? And I'm like, where is the rest of them?
Okay, it doesn't mean that she's showing them to other people. It just means she's wearing them.
Can you walk around with a big old string up your butt?
No, I don't understand that.
No, we walk around with little strings up our butts.
I don't get the, no. If I wear underpants, it's not those at all.
No panty lines, Brad.
Not if you wear
Izzo's got it. He knows.
There you go. I don't wear skinny jeans either. No.
I can't wear skinny jeans.
Of course, with the size of my ass, anything's a skinny jean.
I couldn't wear, even when I lost all that weight, I couldn't wear the skinny jeans because I have my mom's calves, and nothing will go over my mom's calves.
Oh, wait.
I know. It's weird.
Brandon wears skinny jeans. I wonder if he wears them.
Yeah, but
he's a trendy kind of dude. I mean, it's but he's young. He's what, 35? It's a skinny jean wear. It's a skinny jean wearing.
You know the best thing to talk about after you've talked about panty lines?
Let's go.
Waffles.
Waffles.
We'll get a card from
Not blue ones.
MoJo Wild Rice.
Oh yeah, don't search.
Hello, all. This is the waffle sample pack. The sample pack for those of you listening to the podcast. We have it's a tremendous display of the MoJo Wild Rice waffle sample pack. It does not come with the maple sugar, however, but I can so highly recommend the maple sugar. This is it's like granulated maple syrup. This is unbelievably good. The ingredients are maple sugar. That's it. I put some in my coffee. It's fabulous.
You put some in your coffee?
I put a little bit.
Some? I think every 2 minutes there's been a shake going in your coffee.
I live by the strict rule of a 4 count.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and 4. So this little bottle of maple sugar will sweeten 2 cups of coffee for me. They sent us an incredible selection of the wild rice sampler packs and the what's this? This is incredible. Blueberry syrup. You know what all of this means? Chef Patrick has some work to do.
Oh, inappropriate though. They're asking on Twitter right now, though, Ron, is your daughter hot?
Yeah, I saw that.
Go to MoJoWildRice.com. We're going to get Chef Patrick to make us some goodies this week. This is Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, freedom. MoJo 50.
Mike. I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. Well, it looks like the Democrats are figuring out what you and I knew almost immediately. The Jussie Smollett case, the charges that he was attacked by 2 white guys in MAGA hats who threw bleach on him and tried to lynch him and all that stuff. We suspected there was something fishy about it from day one. And now it appears so do the Chicago police and so do the Democrats, including their main mouthpiece in the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi. The Speaker of the House quietly deleted a tweet talking about the attempted modern-day lynching of Jussie Smollett. And you know who else has to answer for a similar statement? 2 presidential candidates. Senators Kamala Harris and Cory Booker both posted tweets talking about the attempted, quote, modern-day lynching, close quote. And then yesterday on the campaign trail, they were having to address those tweets.
Okay, so I will say this about that case. I think that the facts are still unfolding, and I'm very concerned about, obviously.
Well, the information's still coming out, and I'm going to withhold until all the information actually comes out from on-the-record sources. We know in America that bigoted and biased attacks are on the rise.
So weeks ago you could leap to conclusions, and now that the story's falling apart, you're taking a pause. We get it. You're hypocrites. Testudo, my friends. Testudo. Yes, they are.
Mike Opelka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com.
The Daily Mojo.
So I discovered this hashtag yesterday, getting older in 5 words. Hot flashes make life hell. What? That can't be accurate. Not letting pain diffuse joy. Decreasing number of F's given. Woke up injured from sleeping is one of my favorites.
I didn't appreciate that stuff, so I hit my 40s, and oh my God, you wake up and stuff hurts. I thought it was a joke.
Get off my effing lawn. Gray hair growing everywhere. It's kind of a cheat because everywhere is one word, but Mickey, that's a valiant effort. Getting more mature or immature. Got to pee a lot more. Go hard or go home. 60 is hitting me hard. Some people don't acknowledge it. Series of hacks and coughs. Getting older is not for pussies.
Go hard or go home. That's my motto.
Yeah. Is it? I have no doubt.
Izzo found the bell. By the way, there is a Brandon's Beard Twitter account now.
Oh, dude, I'm not. Listen to me. Hashtag no homo. That guy's got a great beard. I don't understand why
he does have a great beard.
I don't understand why he keeps it so short. He's got to grow it out. If you're listening, you got to grow it out. But he's got this thick, manly beard.
He does.
Like his own beard has testosterone. And I'm like, grow it. No, I got to keep it short. No, grow it.
I think his fiance may rule that route.
He's got a micro beard. That's what he does.
It works for him. Though.
He wants to talk about my phallus in his show. Let me explain something to you, champ.
Well, yes, we're a family, but we are the most dysfunctional family you'll ever meet. We wouldn't have it any other way. An 11-year-old boy was arrested at school following his refusal to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. This, according to the police report. He also allegedly threatened his teacher.
Yeah, there's the deal with that, though, and that's it. Another headline where you're reeled in by going, "Oh my God, there's the police are bad. The right, everyone on the right is bad because they arrested an 11-year-old for not saying the Pledge of Allegiance." But then the story, you have to read it in order to continue. I hate.
First of all, how do you arrest an 11-year-old?
It's in some states, like with Illinois, I know it's legal to handcuff a 10-year-old. That's the base. That's the minimum age you have to put.
For what purpose?
Oh my God! Are you kidding me? Have you ever tried? Well, have you ever tried to like stop a unruly kid?
Oh, I know.
It's ridiculous. But you charge them on juvenile offenses, like you make them wash squad cars for 2 days or something.
I actually got technically, I'm not sure that they arrested us when we were in, is it 6th grade, 7th grade, 6th or 7th grade. There was a little store called Sprouse Ritz in.
What'd you steal
California.
from there?
Pencils.
Yeah.
Another kid, and his name was Brad Olson. We went in. I don't know who knows why we were doing it, but we took pencils and stuffed them down the back of our pants, and then I could see the man.
Is that how it started? That's how it started.
That's it's always that big toe dipped into the pond.
Yeah, it's cold and rigid.
It's the eraser.
Sharpened or not?
Lead with the eraser. But I could see the manager like looking around the corner at us, and I thought, oh, we walked out the front, and he grabbed us.
He's looking around the corner at two 6th grade boys or whatever, and he's feverishly just getting the sweats going. Ooh, look at those boys.
We were tall for our age. Mm-hmm. I still remember what it felt like getting the handcuffs and sitting in the back of the car. It was anyway. They took us down. Like. They fingerprinted us and took our pictures and called our parents. So my arrest record is
And you were how old?
7th grade, so about 13.
Yeah, that's juvenile. Yeah, you get little station adjustments back then. And what year was this?
76 or 77.
Oh, they started doing it back then?
Yeah.
I thought they'd just bring you back home to your parents and that was it.
I would have thought so too, but you know what? Don't mess with me. I'm a hardened criminal.
There you go.
I'm a sharpened criminal.
Yeah.
So February 4th, this kid at Lawton Childs Middle Academy in Lakeland, Florida, he was asked.
Oh, that Lakeland's got problems.
Yeah.
That's right.
He was asked to stand for the pledge. Instead, he told the substitute teacher that the American flag is racist against black people. It does not say what color this kid is.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say, he was black.
Possibly. The teacher recapped everything in a handwritten statement to the district. Quote, she says, why, if it was so bad here, did he not go to another place to live? She reportedly told him. The boy responded, they brought me here.
Oh.
So I don't know. Maybe he was brown.
Whatever happened to going to the principal's office?
I don't know. She said, well, you can always go back because I came here from Cuba, and the day I feel like I'm not welcome here anymore, I would find another place to live. Then she said, then I had to call the office because I didn't want to continue dealing with him. Well, first of all, she tried to match wits with an 11-year-old.
Yeah, there's no way you can do that.
You know, I mean, it's go to the principal's office, I would think, immediately. But she's a substitute teacher, which I wouldn't want to have that job for all the money in the world. Mm-hmm. The Lakeland Police Department said that it can't release the public records on the juvenile misdemeanor arrest. He was apprehended by a school resource officer because he wouldn't follow directions. He threatened the teacher with violence.
Okay.
And
so, yeah,
all right. So now we get to the real part of the story.
Instead of just a headline.
I started to say if he threatened to kill her or hurt her, that's a different discussion.
He threatened, not only her, he said he threatened the officer and the principal. He said they should both be fired, which may or may not be true. I'm upset. I'm angry. I'm hurt. More so for my son. The mother's name is Dakira Talbot.
Her ass should be sitting in the jail with him.
These parents are absolutely ridiculous, and the chain of events that they cause is they pay no, and I'm generalizing because I've seen it. They pay no attention to these kids at home.
Mm-hmm.
because they're all focused on themselves and whatnot. And then when these kids go to school, you would think, if I'm a parent and I want to be lazy at home, I'm going to let other people do the job for me. I wouldn't mind my teacher keeping my little a-hole kid in line. But instead, and it's a pride issue, what you have is that these teachers will discipline a kid, and then all of a sudden, now mom and dad get outraged.
Right.
Now they say, you have no right to discipline my kid. It is the most disingenuous crap I've ever seen, and you can't say anything. These parents are the most unreasonable people on the planet. When you say, "Hey, your kid came to school and he fought this guy, or he said this to this person, or he mouthed off this teacher," so it's like,
right?
Do you not realize what your child just did? Yeah, they
whatever happened to the ornate paddles that used to hang in the principal's office?
Oh no.
Oh,
those were big deterrents, right?
Not only that, but the one
Some
we
kids
had,
like it.
We had
big old holes in them, so
yes,
you could
no
get a
wind
clear
resistance.
swing.
They would knock you on
Some
the
of
ass.
us only need a
No
little
wind
hole.
resistance.
Oh, and once you got that, you didn't. I mean, that thing worked.
Dude,
Yes,
our
me.
principal lined us up.
Yeah.
If there were two or three
Paddles. You
kids
got
got in trouble,
swats.
your butt lined up in the middle of the freaking room where everybody else saw you, bent over, grabbed your ankles, and he wailed.
Can you imagine the freak that turned out? Like some guy, fast forward 20 years from now, is looking for an audience to sit there and watch him get paddled now because of the pleasurable memories he went through. It's like, oh, daddy. He's a 6th grade kid getting his ass slapped going, more?
Uh-huh. He didn't quite know how to.
No, it didn't happen to me, for anybody who's asking.
He didn't quite know where to file that one in his head, but now he does. Did you ever get paddled?
No,
Did they paddle?
no, so I went to a Catholic grammar school.
In school,
and it wasn't by the time, it was in the 80s, and by that time, the nuns were not heavy-handed, and I was one of the last generations where they still had nuns in school teaching. Then they phased them out after we graduated. But the nuns, you get held after school, you'd wind up getting detention, which I never got, but my sister sure as hell did.
Did they wrap your knuckles?
No, none of that.
Really?
But it was at the age where, like, my mother, I remember specifically my sister got in trouble bad, and my mother went to the nun and got in the nun's face for what she did to my sister, which was some kind of disciplinary action. But my mother beat the crap out of my sister when she got home. Because it was, you wasted my time, you disrespected your teacher, and blah, 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 blah. But the teachers weren't allowed to do it. But, man, my mother just, she was heavy-handed. It was great.
When I was in school, if we got in trouble in school, you went home and you knew you were going to get the shit beat out of you by your dad or your mom, whichever the case
Ours was my mom.
And so it was double whammy. Now, if they spank you, I guess they can't even do that in school anymore because
thank you to Child Family Services. No, you can't even do that.
You
some
can't even
poor
speak
woman,
sternly to them.
No, just like I was talking about before, the parents don't care. I had a specific woman, and I'll make this a very short story, didn't give a crap about her kid playing in the street, but the same kid went to school and he mouthed off. And the teacher, after probably 20 minutes of trying to get him to shut up, she put a very small strip of Scotch tape across his mouth. It was a joke. Oh, mom came to school, demanded she get fired.
And did you?
After 30 years? Yeah, I had to arrest her. I was ordered to arrest her. No.
Wow. What's the charge? Abuse? What is the charge?
That was battery. And so everyone talks about assault. In Illinois, you got battery. So you touch somebody's battery. It's battery by definition is any contact of insulting or provoking nature. So if I touch your shoulder, I'm battered. I can get arrested for battery.
Wow.
Yeah. It's amazing. Learn to take a punch, people.
Yeah, no kidding, because life's going to do it repeatedly, over and over. When I was in 6th grade, Mr. Chandler was our math teacher, and he wore boots to school, pointed-toed cowboy boots. And the school is one of those, the outdoor ones had buildings, and you walked outside to the next class, and the half of the wall was windows. So you had, the little knee wall up maybe 4 feet, and then glass up to the top of probably 15 feet. And a friend of mine and I were playing handball, just a little rubber ball against the wall, but we weren't supposed to. And Mr. Chandler came around the corner. It was David Rasco and me. I still remember to this day. It worked. He grabbed us both, one by the arm, and kicked us. That was the punishment. You got kicked with a pair of cowboy boots. This was 19.
Did you ever do it again?
Hell no.
That's what
I'm saying. I didn't
saying.
want to get kicked again.
Classical
It
conditioning.
works. It didn't break anything on me, but it sure seared a lesson into my brain. And now
Your brain's in your ass?
well, at that time it was. There are occasions it still is. But
that's how it goes. I think that people don't realize your brains as a juvenile male start in your ass, so they migrate north.
Yeah. Do you know that the great majority of millennials and a lot of the Gen Zers, they don't know what the meaning is of doing chores, They don't know what the meaning is of being disciplined for your actions, i.e. the consequences of your actions in school. They don't know that.
But
it makes a resource officer's job pure hell.
You can thank law enforcement for that, because that's like your child family services.
Yeah.
Kids have learned. I can't tell you how many calls I'd go to where some mom in her 40s would go, I called 911 because my 14-year-old son told me to go F myself. And we'd go, okay, what you do is you open your hand because it's more surface area, and you 5-star that kid across the way. I'm going to get arrested. No, you won't. Kids would play that all the time. Go ahead, hit me. I'm going to call 911. And that's what happened. That child family services ruined parents.
There's a video I've seen on YouTube of the kid calling the police on his parent or on his mom, and the police walk up, and the kids are he's telling him the story, and the police officer walks up to the mom and says, "Thank you. You needed to take care of that yourself." And then he goes out to the kid and says, "If you ever call me again for something like that, I'll arrest you and put you in jail myself."
I want to leave an archived message to my future unborn child, should I ever have one. Son or daughter, if I ever do get married and ever have kids, I am going to hold you while your mother beats your ass if you get out of line. I love you.
I'm telling you.
You have to finish up with "I love you." There is that. And you have to hug them.
Well, yeah, they have to know. That's
called tough love.
This is gonna hurt me a lot more than it does you. Which, when you're a kid, you think is total bullshit, but it's true.
It is absolutely true.
As an adult, it's like, man, I don't want to do this, but if I don't, it's the whole spare the rod, spoil the child thing. You know, the Bible had some good advice in it.
Yeah, I saw somebody was saying on for every self-help guru, every Tony Robbins, everyone out there, nothing is new. They said that Proverbs in the Bible is everything. And I started reading it going, oh my God, I wasted $1,000 on a Tony Robbins seminar 10 years ago.
It was right here.
Yeah.
Free the whole time.
This is where my mother should have beat my ass and sold me into slavery.
All right, into the Wayback Machine. 16 years ago, my friends, in 2003. This is a budding Doc Thompson on WTAM bemoaning local city government. And it's still just as relevant today as it was back then.
216-578-1100, 888-723-WTAM. You know, most people are followers. Few people come up with really unique, brilliant ideas, and then the rest of the world just makes copies of it. I mean, everything from the reality shows, the first couple, they were new, and people watched them, and then they become more and more watered down and more bad ideas. It's like when you make a copy of a copy of a copy, and it just becomes more and more smudged and diluted, and it's not quite as good as the original. Well, that's what happens. And I think we have very few brilliant leaders around that can get some really brilliant ideas passed and make Cleveland a dynamic place. I think that's what's holding us back. The brilliant people are working in the private sector. And now they've come up with this convention center idea, which I think is definitely not needed at this point, and it is certainly way down the list of things that I think we should address in Cleveland. $422 million is what the mayor says it's going to cost, but she warned City Council yesterday that cost estimates and negotiations for the new center could be off a little bit. She cautioned the numbers could change, but she said it's going to be $422 million. Remember Brown Stadium, on time, on budget, $53 million over, and that may not be all of it. It may continue to go up. We do not need a convention center at this point. It is certainly not a priority. It's not going to do what these leaders believe that it's going to do. We need people to come up with brilliant ideas and implement them. Why don't they take suggestions? Listen to some of the people. I hear brilliant ideas. I hear a lot of bad ones too, but I hear some very good ideas from people who call in. Ace, welcome to News Radio, WTAM 1100. Hello, Ace.
Yeah, Doc.
Yes, what's going on, sir?
Hey, I can tell you a cure for all of this.
What's that?
Take that convention center.
The existing one?
The existing one, leave it where it's at.
Okay.
To put that new one and put a hotel with a casino in there.
What? Ace, we can't have a casino. That would bring in prostitution.
No. Even if it brings it in, you know what? It's still going to bring in the money. It's going to bring in jobs. It's going to bring in people.
And it'll bring
That's what you need to have in Cleveland.
Ace, it'll bring in crime, too. It'll bring in crime.
We got a great police force. Las Vegas has got a great police force. They got crime too. Places that don't have casinos have crime in it too.
We have hookers and crime right now.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, it's not going to change anything. And the other thing, especially the people down south, and Bob Taft, who's from down south, go, oh, we can't have casinos. That's gambling. You can't have gambling in the state.
Well, you know what?
We have the lottery. We have church casino nights every weekend. We have racetracks. We already have gambling here.
You know what, Doc? Let me tell you something. My father-in-law goes to Windsor up in Canada twice a month. He's a retiree. Twice a month he travels up to Windsor to gamble. If we had a casino down here in Cleveland, you know where he would go?
He'd go there.
He'd come right here to Cleveland and go and gamble. Another thing they should have done is a casino will bring in 5,000 jobs per casino at the average on a large casino. What they should have done down on the Cuyahoga River, instead of putting in that steel mill,
right.
There's probably how many acres down there? 80, 90, 100 acres?
Mm-hmm.
You could put in so much. You could put in so many casinos down there. If you put in 10 acres to a casino, that's 8 casinos that you could put in down there, where now you're talking 5,000 jobs per casino, 40,000 people would have gone to work.
I agree,
How
Ace.
many people went to work when the steel mills opened up again?
I agree. And I don't think a casino is our savior. But I will say this. It'll, at very least, stop the hemorrhaging of people going to Wheeling, Niagara Falls, and Windsor, and that are putting all those dollars, wherever else. You got Indiana down along the Ohio River. People going to those areas and spend the money. We'll get some of it back, and you'll draw some of the people from those areas who say, yeah, I'll go gamble somewhere else down the road a little bit. You'll get people from, let's say, Erie, PA, who it's closer to drive to Cleveland than it is for Niagara Falls. I don't think it's our savior, but why not do it? You're not going to have the cost overruns that you do with one of the public structures that you're trying to get built. If casino cost overruns, the casino will pay for it. Casinos make money. That's the reason there are so many casinos. It will pay for itself. And you're talking about doing it with private dollars. But the people down south are tight asses and say it's going to bring in prostitution and crime and we can't have gambling, even though we have all of those things already. And the racetrack lobby is gargantuan in the state, and they don't want to see us have casinos because people are going to stop going to the racetracks, or go to the racetracks less is their perception. Instead of those people that own the racetrack saying, maybe we can get in on the investing of the casino. No, they just want to protect it and then eventually bring slot machines to the racetracks. Very silly. A lot of shady deals going on. Ohio, I think, is kind of known for that. Linda, welcome to News Radio WTAM 1100.
And just so you know, Doc was right. The convention center ended up costing $465 million, and Cleveland did eventually get its casinos. So the guy knew what he was talking about. We were just discussing vape juice. I'm going to have to. The past couple of weeks have been a little stressful. They brought out if you had any bad habits around here, they really came to the forefront in the past 2 weeks. Stress. Although I don't think vaping. I mean, vaping. They try to tell you it's. Do they tell you it's bad for you? I've seen both.
They do, because it's not proven. I mean, but people have been vaping for what, 2 decades now.
I'm still alive.
I mean,
this unicorn.
Does it cause popcorn lung? Who knows?
What's popcorn lung?
I don't know. That's what people say. That's what
Is
it's
it
called.
a gateway to anything? Vaping? I mean, aside from turning gay.
Depends.
I was going to say homosexual sex, but I don't see anything wrong with that.
That and driving Priuses. Look,
Right.
don't give me grief. I drove a Prius. It's all good.
I would have a Prius in a heartbeat if I could afford the damn thing.
Dude, I got 57 miles to the gallon.
Yes,
it was phenomenal.
I'd have a Prius. I'd
All
have
I
a
was
Tesla.
doing was driving.
Absolutely,
I would drive a Tesla.
In
if
a
anybody
heartbeat.
wants
They
to
look nice.
donate a Tesla to my cause, which I don't know what that is yet, please.
The cause is you want a Tesla. It doesn't have to. Go jogging by some railroad tracks. People tend to send in a lot of money if you get whacked by a
I
train.
don't need a Tesla after I'm gone.
No, that's true. No one needs a Tesla after they're gone.
Yeah, popcorn lung. I think I don't know what it is, but that's what they've called it, and it has to do
Well,
with
hell,
that.
I sure don't want it then. If I don't you want popcorn lung? I don't want popcorn lung. It doesn't sound fun.
Well, wait a minute. Let's Google popcorn lung. Hang on.
You had orgasm lung.
Just don't Google
it
blue
gives you
waffle.
orgasm
No.
lung.
Or
Porsche girl.
Oh, you don't want orgasm lung. Sure don't want that. That would be horrible. I mean, every day. It's like that. What was that drug that caused when you sneezed?
Wait, there's a drug that when you sneeze it causes an orgasm?
Yeah, there was a drug that when a woman, it was a drug that women
That was
took.
from a movie.
If
I
a jackhole
think.
finds that,
it
would
was
you
a
please forward
real.
that to
It
me?
was a real drug, and it caused some people when they sneezed to have an orgasm. There was a guy that
Who
was
did it all the time? Like he did it 50 times at his father's funeral or something.
Well, there was a guy that he was actually over at the other place. He was a guest, and it happened all the time. It sounds like it might be fun, but in reality,
so you realize how many genes pairs of genes you stain. Here's your popcorn lung. Popcorn lung is a nickname for the bronchitis obliterans. It's a condition that damages your lungs in the smallest airways and makes you cough and feel short of breath. I walk up the stairs, I feel short of breath. I guess I've got
I can't breathe.
It's sometimes caused by here you go. It's sometimes caused by breathing in a chemical used to flavor microwave popcorns, but other chemicals or lung illnesses can also pop. You can get popcorn lung from anything then.
You know, when I walk into the vape store, Brad, you can't see in the vape store.
Hi, Mr. Ron, you're back, sweetie.
It's the billowing smoke. They have those
Vape
contests
store.
It's got to be better than smoking.
It's like the vegan.
I went in to get that juice this weekend. I came out joking with my wife. I said, I walked in, they went, "Hey, Mr. Ron, welcome back." They didn't say it like that.
I'm sure. Well, not until you leave. Would you look at him? Oh my gosh, he got the delicious green mystic today. I love it. It's fantastic.
You have a special handshake when you walk in?
Are you losing weight?
Special
But you do have to wade through the fog to get to the counter. So.
Mr. Ron, try our new vape. It's like this big. It's the size of this. You go, I'm going to try this
Isolate that audio also.
If you can get that in your mouth, you qualify. Just saying. An update too on the Docmobile. We still are going to do a Facebook Live or a video of cleaning that thing out. It remains in the exact spot that it was last week.
Dominic, do you know about this?
I actually drove around the parking lot this morning looking for his car, and then I went inside.
It's being stored at a secure location as we speak because it's every day that goes by, it's gaining in value. By gaining in value, I mean we're going to auction it off at some point, and it will.
Are you going to have a MoJo parade? And that'd
you know,
be like
that's the first words uttered, by the way, about it. So you let that cat out of the bag.
That should be. It should be like the flagship. Everywhere you go, MoJo the hell out of that.
Well, we have to clean it first because it's a bit of a toxic waste dump.
That's right. That in and of itself is going to be a big time Facebook Live.
And it looks like it's a tiny car, isn't it?
Oh, it's like a skateboard. To watch Doc Thompson get out of that skateboard was the most. He looked like a Shriner getting out of a clown car. It was amazing that he fit in that damn thing to begin with. But I'm fairly certain you can get popcorn lung from sitting in that car with all the stuff
without a
in
doubt.
it.
But you know, Beth said the best thing about that car was she had to fill it up because it was almost empty. $17.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, and I'll bet you that thing runs 3 weeks on a tank.
Oh, easy.
I mean, there's no weight behind it, so the engine's not working very hard. But we'll get that thing. We've got the special decorative touches for the doors, and we have a couple other things planned to really turn it into the MoJo 50 Docmobile. And once that happens,
what you got to do.
Once that happens, it'll be up on the auction block, and we'll make sure that everybody has an opportunity.
See, here we go. Thank you, Stephen English. Vaping is like the vegans of smoking. I agree. I agree.
See, it is possible that I used to smoke. I'm not admitting that.
I can't talk too much about that because I smoke cigars, but you don't inhale.
No, you don't.
So
you can get lip cancer.
And it's
you can get lip cancer from those. You can get finger cancer.
Sure, and I've got something very big and colorful in my mouth. It's okay.
And who doesn't like that?
Oh, I definitely do.
All right. So if you have any of these symptoms, your stomach doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
You are jonesing for a certain kind of foods.
Yeah.
Your weight is going up or down.
Up. It's going up.
You're feeling anxious or blue.
I sit next to you.
You're not sleeping well.
I think about you.
You know those could be signs of poor gut health.
Tell me more there, Uncle Brad.
Poor gut health can cause more stuff going on in your life that you didn't even realize. And that's why LoveMyTummy.com exists. Because if you go to LoveMyTummy.com, you will find Atrantil, which is a I believe it's a French word, which means my stomach hurts. But it's not a probiotic. It is not a it's not a prebiotic. What it is every time I try to explain it exactly, I screw it up. If you're feeling bloated, if you've got abdominal discomfort, this could be the answer. And at first I was like, well, it's IBS. No, because IBS is such a catch-all phrase for a
generic
bunch of
tummy
stuff.
term. Yeah, tummy pains. Yeah.
But this Atrantil was developed by a gastroenterologist, and Dr. Koenig is going to be here today, I think.
Oh,
is he doing something with?
I don't know if it's Dr. Ken or just Eric, but they're coming by this morning to talk with the Spoonie guys.
Is this
they're
the
actually
MoJo
doing a show on Spoonie.
But
good.
Is this the MoJo annual turn your head and cough?
It might be.
Okay.
Now, once they do that, they can't. There's really nothing that they
just
can.
warm your hands up, please.
That's all it is. This has got it's got a proprietary blend of Cabrajo, Colorado.
That's what she said.
Horse chestnut and peppermint extracts.
Does it have the D in there?
It's a floor wax.
It's got the D's.
It has all the D's.
D's nuts.
It's a dessert topping. It's a floor wax. It'll actually improve your gut health. Go to lovemytummy.com if you are having any of those issues. This could be the answer to your problems. Lovemytummy.com. We have communiques coming in on the Twitter.
We do. Pacifier. The Duchess says pacifiers are big and colorful. Vapors seem like adults whose passy were taken too soon. Rule number 5, Jackhole. Honda Fit, like giving squirrels a fighting chance since 1991.
It is it's like this. It's like the skateboard of cars. Yeah. It's really it's the smallest car. You can pick it up and turn it around in your hand.
Lori F&D. Uncle Brad Staggs. Rants of Izzo is too cute. We know this.
Is Lori D drunk yet?
Don't know.
I mentioned her cookies yesterday.
That's right. If you're looking at the camera, Izzo is standing up, folks.
Wow.
I'm trying to be as tall as Brad is while he's sitting down.
There's a gun within arm's reach of him right now.
That's okay.
You know that wrong.
I could never live without you.
Pickled Squirrel said, if I take a punch, I've done something wrong and need additional training. I'm not sure exactly who's going to punch.
Can you take a punch? No, you see, that's what I need. I need a girl who can take a punch.
And Saddle Tramp kicked in the ding-ding. In Texas, paddling a kid's ass by the principal is still legal. No one puss-ass principal is willing to do it, no matter how bad my boys need it. Telling you, it's true. Spare the rod, spoil the child. But we've forgotten a lot of those lessons, haven't we?
Spank me, Daddy.
This is your Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 5-0.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Bernie is back. Senator Bernie Sanders announcing he is running for president again, seeking the Democratic nomination in 2020.
There's been widespread speculation that the senator from Vermont would run after his strong showing against Hillary Clinton in the race for the Democratic presidential nomination back in 2016.
That's correspondent Matt Small. Didn't take long for opponents of President Trump's national emergency declaration aimed at speeding construction of a border wall to sue the president. 16 states going to court, arguing the declaration is unconstitutional. Veteran Washington political consultant Roger Stone issuing an apology to the judge presiding over his case.
On Monday, Roger Stone, indicted on charges of lying to Congress and witness tampering, posted a photo on Instagram of U.S. District Judge Amy Berman Jackson with what appears to be a gun's crosshairs near her head. Later in the day, Stone said the photo had been misinterpreted and that any suggestion he intended to threaten Jackson was categorically false. But by Monday night, he apologized in a notice filed by his lawyers. The statement reading, "The photograph and comment today was improper and should not have been posted." Stone has denied the criminal charges against him, which stem from discussions he had during the 2016 election about WikiLeaks. Tim McGuire, Washington.
It all began with a big gust of wind. That tripped a circuit breaker last night, and that trapped more than a dozen people high in the air on a ride at SeaWorld, San Diego. All of them successfully rescued. They were lowered by harnesses and rescued by lifeguard boats. They had been suspended over a body of water. Wall Street futures pointing to a lower open later this morning. Right now we have Dow futures down about 52 points. S&P futures off 6.5. NASDAQ futures down 14 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
There's a better way to meet people without having to suffer through all the crazies. Weed out all the nutty people with wethepeople.dating. That's wethepeople.dating. It's easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out wethepeople.dating. Sign up and start dating today. Wethepeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
This is David Barton with another moment from America's history. What is the purpose of government? Founding Father Oliver Ellsworth believed he knew. Oliver Ellsworth was a delegate at the convention which formed the Constitution, and later he became the Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court. Concerning the purpose of government, Oliver Ellsworth declared, "The primary objects of government are the peace, order, and prosperity of society." Yet how were these goals to be achieved? Ellsworth explained, "To the promotion of these objects, good morals are essential. Institutions for the promotion of good morals are therefore objects of legislative provision and support, and among these, religious institutions are eminently useful and important." Founding Father Oliver Ellsworth believed government could never reach its goals apart from the help of religious institutions.
For more information on God's hand in American history, contact Wall Builders at 1-800-8-REBUILD.
You get great service and you do some good in the world with Patriot Mobile. Sign up for a Patriot Mobile account today. Start saving money, get great coverage, and do a little bit of good because they support companies, organizations, and candidates that you like. It's patriotmobile.com/doc. patriotmobile.com/doc.
A former Democratic National Committee member told Politico on Monday that he will become national senior advisor to the Draft Beto campaign. That sounds like a horrible beer, probably a Pilsner.
The Defenders with Stephen Airy, tonight at 9.
MoJo 50.
Rebel-rousers, instigators, troublemakers, freaks, agitators, fanatics, scallywags, mutants, scamps, firebrands, rogues, scoundrels, MoJo sexuals. MoJo 50.
Ship has landed.
Yeah, I think they missed the big story in the news at the top of the hour. Good thing we have some audio here because this is pretty incredible. Let's see, where is it? Again, this is the
with a surprise storm last night at parts of Las Vegas, even the Strip waking up to as much as 2 inches of snow this morning. The city got hit with a surprise storm last night. The first time in more than a decade, Las Vegas Valley has seen enough snow for it to stick. High temperatures in Vegas are supposed to be in the mid to upper 40s this week, and the city could even get more snow on Wednesday.
Pretty incredible. 2 inches of snow on the Strip in Vegas.
But it's not going to keep those porn peddlers with the cards.
Oh, no.
Those are my favorite guys. You walk past and they flip the cards like fat, and then you go back and they're giving you cards of where all the sexy ladies are.
I collected my 152 when we were out there. And the most fun is when you get one and you look at it and then you say real loud, "It's my sister."
Oh, that's not bad. Mm-hmm. No. You'd say, "That's my sister."
That's my sister. I wondered where she was. The Tobys sent me a text last night. Good show this morning, referring to yesterday. Wanted to let you know that there's plenty of snow on the mountains throughout Vegas and Henderson. Black Mountain is still bald. Must be all that smoke and heat rolling off the smoking hot Boulder City. That being my birthplace. The place to whence I shall return when I am but dust in the wind. It's just a nice way to say when I'm dead. You got some tweets coming
I do.
in?
Lori F&D, she says she's not drunk yet. She wants to make sure that you understand that. And JR15. Yeah, the Rants of Izzo blend for American Pride Roasters coffee is black walnut, amaretto, peanut, hazelnut, because like Izzo, it's all nuts and no shaft.
See exactly what you did there. All right, without further ado, I think we should get into your headlines, shall we?
Bring it on.
That would require the headline bed there.
Bring it on.
Boom. Headlines. Those headlines.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
Yeah, that guy behind the glass in rare form today. He must be And they're vaping. Your headlines brought to you by APR Coffee, Jack Holes. One of these stories, as usual in today's headlines, is not real. It is your job to figure out which one. It's always exciting. Heavy drinking may boost the desire for alcohol, according to a new study. Binge and heavy drinking may actually trigger DNA changes that make your booze cravings worse. They found that people who drink heavily may be changing their DNA in a way that makes them crave alcohol even more. This, according to senior study author Deepak Sarkar. He directs the, it's not a disease, it's a guy.
No, I thought it was a service he was offering.
He directs the $20.
Same as downtown.
He directs the endocrine program in the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences at Rutgers in New Jersey. Sarkar and his team focused on two genes that play a key role in controlling drinking, the PER2, which influences your body's biological clock, and the POMC, or pump, which regulates the stress.
That entire story is full of
system.
phallus reference. Everything.
Which it's a good thing it involves alcohol. Researchers say that the alcohol-triggered changes in the two genes of binge and heavy drinkers were associated with a greater craving for alcohol and also a loss of reputation. Beer from an 1886 shipwreck may yield a brand new brew. This in Cobleskill, New York. Beer lovers, a bottle of 133-year-old shipwreck yielded from a shipwreck may yield a yeast for a new brew in upstate New York. Biotechnology students at the State University of New York at Cobleskill uncorked a bottle from the shipwrecked SS Oregon last week. Sirius Brewing Company of Howe's Cave plans to develop a new brew if the students successfully extract the yeast.
They do that on the weekends in college campuses.
I was going to say, that sounds like a standard college activity. Bill Felter, barely newer, of Sirius Brewing acquired the beer from a customer who owns an assortment of artifacts recovered from the Oregon. The ship was actually en route from Liverpool, England to New York City with 852 people aboard on March 14th, 1886.
Oh, day before my birthday.
It collided with a schooner near Fire Island, New York, and sank. And all but one person survived.
Sure, always that way.
Moving right along, a Canadian spy has been arrested in Vermont, suspected of...
I'm calling that one. Canadians have spies?
I know, right?
Okay.
Suspected of sabotaging American maple syrup production. Oh, they better not be. This is my maple sugar from MoJo Wild Rice. They better not be touching that. A Canadian man was arrested by the FBI last week near Burlington and accused of performing acts of industrial espionage and sabotage against dozens of maple sugar shacks across Maine and Vermont.
Okay, well, I think we know sugar shacks are what they are. They're the adult male strip clubs. So, I'm calling this one already.
39-year-old Andrew King, officially a representative for the Ontario Maple Syrup Producers Association, is suspected of being an agent of the Canadian Security Intelligence Service. An investigation led by the Federal Bureau of Investigation has linked him to at least 42 acts of sabotage committed over the last 2 months on sugar shacks across Maine and 27 across Vermont.
And 13 tossed salads.
In the backyard, not too far from the car.
In the yard, going back to Amity.
In the yard.
Yeah.
According to FBI spokesperson Arthur Haroldson, the methodical destruction of the American maple syrup production capacity was ordered by the Canadian government to retaliate for American tariffs on steel and aluminum. Moving right along, 3 genius worm toilets backed by Bill Gates are changing people's lives in India. This one specifically for Ron behind the glass. Since 2015, a creative new type of toilet called the Tiger Toilet has been popping up outside homes and schools around the country. From the outside, the toilet looks like any other pit latrine, but it doesn't smell like one. Instead, it comes with a built-in population of tiger worms.
What are those, Uncle Brad?
Well, it's their natural breeding and natural habitat. You'd find tiger worms in cow dung heaps or horse shit piles, they say. That kind of thing. According to Ajit Oak, the director of the Tiger Toilet Company, he told Business Insider, "Poop, that's where they like to live. The toilets involve no traditional flushing. They aren't hooked up to a sewer system. Instead, the worms are contained in a container below the toilet. They feast on feces."
No, that makes sense. You had worms and crap and all that. Yeah.
Enjoy your breakfast. The creature's activity leaves behind a mix of water, carbon dioxide, and a small amount of wormy compost. That's
the snail poop trail kind of. Yeah.
It's much less toxic and more nutrient-rich than ours. They say the resulting water isn't clean enough to drink, but it can go into the ground, and it sort of gets filtered naturally from there on.
Sure.
No wastewater treatment plant is needed.
Do you trust it?
Do you what?
Do you trust it? I wouldn't know.
If you feel something when you sit down, there might be a problem.
Or that's a good weekend.
$20. In Windsor, North Carolina, drivers were startled to see a hungry bear that got stuck in the back of a garbage truck and took a ride across a stretch of eastern North Carolina. News outlets report that a motorist called Bertle County 911 on Wednesday morning, this being last week, about a bear hanging off the back of a garbage truck on U.S. Route 17. Apparently, the snack-seeking bear climbed into the trash truck during a stop and became trapped after the driver secured the netting that prevents garbage from blowing out.
No, that's a grinder date gone bad. That's all that is.
And apparently,
that's all that is.
Keeps bears in.
Bears and cubs.
Sheriff John Hawley says a deputy stopped the truck with a bear perched on top just outside of Windsor. The driver, who hadn't been aware of the stowaway, pulled back the net, and the bear ran off before the truck continued on to the landfill. I'll bet the bear ran. Let's see here. Where's this? Is it in London? Yep, London. In London, security cameras at a London art gallery recorded police breaking through a glass door to investigate a person in distress. That turned out to be a dummy. A London police spokesperson confirmed officers and paramedics responded to a witness report of a suspected corpse just inside the glass doors at the Factory Art Gallery in Dalston. Security camera footage shows police reaching the supposed person and discovering it was, in fact, a mannequin.
Did you see that Netflix film, Velvet Buzzsaw, yet?
Yes.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of that.
It's a weird one.
Jake Gyllenhaal was fantastic in it, though. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it doesn't look all that, when you just see the splash screen, it doesn't look, but when you get into it, man, it is wild. Officers and LAS attended the scenes. Officers were required to force entry inside, which means they broke the door down. They like doing that.
Yeah, I was the breach guy. Had my old battering ram.
Is that what you call it?
I loved it. It was big. It was black. It was as thick as my leg. It was
magnificent.
Great. Oh, God.
Upon inspection, the person turned out to be a figurine constructed from clothing and wires and was part of an art installation. It was part of Ken Collier Din Bangura, his solo exhibition.
What's with these names today?
I don't know, but they're all multisyllabic.
They're all kind of cool.
About the experiences of refugees in Britain. I smell lawsuit coming. Security cameras at a Chinese train station were recording when a young girl gave her father the slip and crawled through the X-ray machine.
Oh, she didn't want to go jogging?
Nope. A CCTV video filmed last Tuesday at a train station in Jinan City, Shandong province shows the 5-year-old girl crawling onto the conveyor belt and riding it right through the X-ray machine. The girl comes out the other side. 3 seconds later, hops down to the ground. The child's father said she gave him the slip while he was having his ticket checked by security. Apparently, she glows every 30 minutes.
I was trying to say, is that like a lethal dose of
that has yet to be seen.
I
guess we'll find that out. So, go through the X-ray. You've got the art gallery. You've got the bear, the worm toilet, the maple syrup, spy, shipwreck beer, and the drinking. So you'd be thinking about which one of those is fake. I believe that Izzo over here has already decided which one. But
yeah, I go with the maple syrup.
Time first, though, for our coffee break, brought to you by APR Coffee, American Pride Roasters. What was the blend down here that I saw? This might be... oh, yes, this is a collector's item now. Doc Thompson's Bacon Blast.
That's what we're drinking this morning.
Is that what it is?
It was open in the back over there, so I made some this morning.
Oh, good.
That's actually really, really good.
It is
on my second cup.
Yeah.
My big second cup.
I may be holding the last bag of that unopened. I don't know. I was talking to DM at the funeral, and did he tell me he doesn't have any more, or he does have a limited supply? Go to American Pride Roasters. You can find out if I'd be jacking the price of this up. Like if I were him, he said.
Then again, you've got Doc's Uranus Hertz.
Why didn't anybody think of infusing Doc Thompson into coffee?
How do you know he didn't?
That's a genius if he did. Just genius.
A little bit of Doc in every gulp.
The ground bone goes right through, filtered in.
This is the coarse grind.
Why not?
Just saying. And DM was asking me if he said, "What should we do with the labels?" Because remember, we signed some of those labels when DM was
they
here.
were here. Yeah.
Yeah. For what was that? What was everybody here? It was Black Friday. Black Friday. So when we signed a bunch of the labels. Exactly. And she says, "What should I do with those?" I said, "I would put them on coffee and jack the price up through the roof because we'll no longer be getting Doc Thompson's signature on anything until I figure out how to photocopy it and then print it on things. Erase that part of the tape, Ron, so no one hears that we're going to do that, just in case. American Pride Roasters, good to the last drop. No, that's taken. American Pride Roaster, just do it. Now just drink it. Just drink it. All right, so which story was fake? You say that
I'm
it was
going with the
maple syrup.
with the salad tosser, maple syrup kind of guy.
I'm going with the child crawling through the X-ray.
No, have you seen those Chinese Asian girls? You obviously haven't seen The Ring, have you? She crawls through your TV like that's what I'm saying. So you don't know. You don't know. They manipulate themselves. They'll spider walk like the Exorcist uncut version, walking through your house, hair stringing down your face, creeping you out. No. Asians,
you think she crawled through it?
I don't trust, and I'm sorry, this is not the express views of MoJo 50 or its staff. I don't trust frogs, I don't trust cats, and I don't trust Asian girls. You can never tell which one's a post-op tranny.
Well, there you go.
What is it, Brad?
It is, in fact, the Canadian spy.
I'm 2 for 2.
Arrested in
I'm 2
Vermont.
for 2.
Oh, man.
That's right.
Very good.
This is Izzo Town.
It's hard to pull one over on you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, I haven't done this in a while.
He said this is Izzo Town.
That's right.
Should have taken Agnes to the funeral.
Oh, you should have.
And needed something different. Today is, by the way, Tuesday, February 19th. There are 622 days until the election 2020. Millie Bobby Brown is 14.
Who's Millie Bobby?
She's 11 in, that character's name is 11 in Stranger Things.
Oh, is that?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I thought you were talking about the other.
No.
I didn't need to know that.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Just that. Yeah, she's an attractive girl.
She's 14.
So is that girl from It, the released version of It. I mean, okay, let's not get creepy here, but they're good-looking girls.
But let's get creepy.
If I was 14,
perhaps we move along now. Seal is 55. Smokey Robinson is 78.
Is he still married to?
What's her name?
Oh, the model.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
What is her name?
Who cares?
She's hot.
Oh, geez.
Whoever she is.
I would watch them go.
Mm-hmm. Be like two cats fighting in a sack. Soki is 26.
Who's
Soki? Soki is 26. A YouTuber.
Oh, Soki. Not like Twiggy?
With more follow. I think it's a dude.
Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know.
Soki, I don't know.
Probably Asian.
Could be.
Dominic might be able to match them.
Pass as a 14-year-old?
No, to match them in followers. Dominic's got a lot.
We'll get there. We'll get there if the MoJo 50 community spreads that.
That's true.
Suki is...
Soki. S-O-K-I. Soki.
Soki.
Okay, hang on.
Soki.
S-O-K. Hi, Daddy. Soki. I got to look at this.
Well, you're looking that up. It was on this day in 1847 the first rescuers reached the surviving members of the Donner Party. And they were
Donner Party, table of 12.
The first thing they were quoted as saying, tastes like chicken. 1942, this date, Roosevelt. This was the day not so good for the Japanese Americans.
No.
This was Executive Order 9066. We used to drive by Manzanar on our way to Mammoth Mountain, go skiing, and the only thing that's left there is the concrete
that Hiroshima
pads.
Or Nagasaki?
No, those would be in Japan. Manzanar is a internment camp in California.
Oh,
it's the remains of this internment camp there. It's in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains, and it's just the foundations. They still exist today. You can pull off the road and see them right there. It's pretty intense. Speaking of intense, Tiger Woods on this day in 2010 did what?
Beat the hell out of a car with a golf club.
This was the day he apologized for the extramarital affairs.
Why? Mm-hmm. You know what? God, no, this is where our generation's gone wrong with men. I need a man who is willing to step up to the plate and be like, listen, ladies, I'm going to explain this to you right now. I have a relative strong degree of fame. I am well known. And I've got Swedish whores throwing themselves at me, and I'm not apologizing for anything. That's what I want to see.
Do you remember when his
words that will never be spoken by me or Brad?
Well, if I had Swedish whores, I'd be yelling it. I would be announcing it from the mountaintops.
It's my new band name, Swedish Whores.
Swedish Whores. Remember when it first came out, though, that she was trying to
chase him down a driveway or something?
Well, he had run into a tree, hadn't he? And she was trying to...
Oh, she's the one that threw the golf club.
No, she didn't. She broke the window with a golf club, but it was that she was trying to get him out.
She's hot, too.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
She's hot.
And apparently pretty feisty.
Oh, yeah.
But she was trying to get him out of the car. Remember that? She was trying to get him out. And then we find out he was boffing everybody.
Why wouldn't you? You're Tiger
radius.
Woods. You're Tiger Woods. You're a good-looking dude. He bulked up. He was looking like he's jacked, like a Filipino version of The Rock, and he's going to town on these women who want. That's what is wrong with these guys?
By the way,
it's just so
Seal
exhausting.
and Heidi Klum, are no longer married.
Oh,
so we got a chance.
We have people yelling at the radio telling us this, by the way.
And Heidi Klum actually dated David Copperfield for a while.
What?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
David Copperfield's not gay?
No.
He
made the Statue of Liberty disappear. In her.
He's not. He's not gay, but he's a little douchey.
Well, I think most people know that.
Yeah, there's that. Those, by the way, are your headlines. We can move on to something.
Izzo's 2 for 2.
See, you come down from Chicago.
That's right, and I finally get my brain cells working.
They have released actually a Chinese futurist, Ming Chi Kuo.
More with the Chinese.
More with the Chinese. They're going to take
They're
over
coming.
the world.
They're
There's
coming.
a lot of them.
Chinese are coming.
Apparently a lot, because there's a lot of them. He's one of the foremost Apple analysts, and he has released his predictions for 2019 for the rest of this year.
I wonder if in person, when you see them, are their genitals pixelated though?
No, but they're hairy.
No. Oh yes. Well, you can tell in the pixelations. That's about it.
Yeah, just a big old.
That's a reference for doesn't know anybody
blob.
know that the Chinese government doesn't let their adult films go out unpixelated.
They don't?
No.
Really?
No. How do you not know this? Am I the only?
We're married?
Am I
I
the
don't
only?
know.
Yeah,
I don't
guess
have
I'm
the yellow fever. I know. Now Doc would have been sitting over here going, "Yeah, I know." Right?
only
And that
one
one
guy
came
here.
out right.
That's right.
It
You would
is-
have had a whole conversation with Doc about this.
Yeah. I
Oh.
just see it's no. If it's
No, they're all pixelated. They can't show naughty bits.
if the
Well, what good is that?
if the
None. That's why I don't use it.
if the carpet matches the drapes, that means there is carpet, and hardwood floors
There you
are
go.
much better. We'll just leave it there. The 2019 iPhones, his prediction, Ming Chi Kuo, he says the new iPhones will have a frosted glass casing on the rear,
I'll bet it be frosted.
reverse charging, wireless charging
Oh,
technology.
I read that. That's where you can charge other things with your iPhone.
Yeah. So if you have like a Bluetooth,
Yep.
you just set it on the phone and it charges the Bluetooth. That's pretty wild. It'll have upgraded Face ID. That's freaky. Do you have a phone with
Yeah,
a-
my iPhone 10's
So you
got
just
the Face
look
ID.
at it?
So it goes
Yep.
like this. If
Just
I
look at
swipe
it.
up, you can swipe up to open it, and see if it'll
All
let you swipe up and open it.
Swipe up to unlock. It just gave me the notification center.
Yeah, that's it. So it's not going to do
That's
it, right?
because it doesn't recognize your face.
So it's looking at me. And,
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
you do
So
it.
I do this. I go.
Now, if you think big government's not involved here, folks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
If we're holding this technology in our hands,
every time they scan our faces, they've got us.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's why the DNA thing. they've got everything
I
else.
hope. I'm hoping the government goes through my phone. Because I'm gonna tell you, one or two things are gonna happen. Any government official is they're gonna be swarming around the computer side of my phone from their end, going, oh, "We got his phone. We got to look at." And 10 of them are gonna get new ideas for what to bring home to their wives, and the other 10 are gonna need therapy for the next 40 years.
And then there's one guy in the back going, "Let's hire him for the CIA."
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
The new iPhone in 2019.
He would do what to Hillary Clinton? Nobody admits that.
What'd you say yesterday? She looks like a bag of old
Bag of smashed assholes.
God.
Smashed.
But you know what? There's a grudge part of me that would take one for the team with Hillary because I think I could put her back on track.
Hey, Brad likes.
I'm rethinking all of those previous statements. They are in the process of being rethought. That's all I can say.
Pelosi. It's Pelosi, right?
I don't disagree. Her younger days, she's
younger
gorgeous.
That's what he said. Yeah.
And all it takes, as my academy mate would have said, it takes a ruthless D to just kind of jar that person back on track.
There you
So
go.
you see,
She just has women in power like that. The Kamala Harris, all these liberal women just have not had a man come up and go caveman on them. That's what you need. Club them over the head and just
take him as you see him.
they turn out to be like Madeline Kahn at Young Frankenstein at the end of it.
Right?
I love you, and you better keep your mouth shut.
Rolling the hay. The phone will also have a triple lens camera system, likely for the largest Max model, bigger batteries, the same size screen as the current XR and XS generation, and lightning ports. Suggesting
that means they're going to keep the lightning port instead of changing it over to one of the
move to USB-C.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing because that's what we don't need is one more stupid connector. Damn, I hate that. The 2019 iPads will get upgraded processors. This, again, according to a future analyst, Ming Chi Kuo.
He's going to be crawling through some X-ray machine right in Ron's room on that side.
The iPad Pro is going to have a 10.2-inch display, he says, and the new iPad Mini.
10.2 inches. It takes after me.
Let's see. With a new iPad Mini with an upgraded processor. So those are some of the things you can look forward to coming up, hopefully, in later this year. If you're trying to lose weight in the meantime, trying to lose some of that ugly fat, and especially if you sit in that seat and you have to stare at yourself from the side. Riduzone may be your secret weapon. Riduzone helps you support your healthy weight. It's safe. I'm officially back on the wagon this week. I don't have my my bag of M&Ms over here. It's not the first thing I put in my mouth this morning.
I will corrupt you. I'll bring them in.
Damn it. Well, yeah, we still got the Alyssa Milano cookies in the kitchen and the
who's the boss, Alyssa Milano? She makes cookies?
Well, see, the Doc had a thing with Alyssa Milano. They went back and forth.
She's hot.
But that's what he called her, Alyssa Milano cookies.
Okay.
So,
no. Okay.
So the Milano cookies.
Pepperidge Farms.
Yeah, exactly. They remember. So Riduzone also has the OEA molecule. It helps curb hunger. And yesterday, it actually on the website, I sent them a little email saying it doesn't slow your metabolism. It prevents slow metabolism. So they got rid of the S. So, yeah, it is, in fact, correct today. Go to riduzone.com. If you've got your mind right and you're ready to lose weight, it could be your secret weapon against ugly fat. Or you could just cut off your arm or your head and lose 10 pounds instantly. Or in your case, there's like 50 pounds per arm. Guy works out. This is your Daily Mojo.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of mojo. Mojo 50.
The current trend of liberal left millennials and those old enough to vote from Generation Z is to accentuate the youthfulness of their leaders in Congress rather than focus on their experience. Let me explain. The left has been giddy from the start over newbie Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They've even tolerated her many mistakes. CNN describes AOC in part as being, quote, a talented, charismatic young politician who has struck the political world with a force and impact rarely seen among even those who have been at it for a much longer time. She makes beginner's mistakes. But what do you do if you're a leftist, not a member of Generation Z or a millennial, but want to prove to younger voters just how viable you are as a presidential candidate? Well, you go shopping with the liberal mainstream media, of course. It appears that Senator Kamala Harris, who is running for president in 2020, is trying to appear more, quote, dope like AOC. Over the weekend, Harris was seen shopping in South Carolina while taking a break from town hall meetings. Several CNN reporters who were there to cover her outing instead encouraged her to try on new outfits. One millennial CNN reporter said, quote, we kind of forced Kamala Harris to try on this awesome, oversized rainbow sequin jacket. She snapped it up. She boasted that another CNN reporter, quote, perfectly named it as the Mardi Gras jacket, hashtag 2020. Buckle up. I have a feeling it's going to be a long presidential campaign with many trips by liberal candidates and their mainstream media reporters to what Generation Zs would call, quote, lit boutiques. And that's today's reality check with Susan Knowles.
Say what you want to say about Cortez. She's not unattractive. Whoopi Goldberg, ugly as dirt. She one ugly woman. She ugly. Whoopi is jealous.
Making radio great again. The Cartel with Matt and Ron. This morning at 11. Mojo 50.
Having an extra supply of food on hand is just smart. Some people call it prepping. I call it smart. You never know what's going to happen in this world. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. You'll find out a lot of good reasons to have that food and some great prices. mypatriotsupply.com.
The Daily Mojo.
All right, as always, get those communiques in. Use the hashtag What I Learned Today, and we will be reading those throughout the broadcast. We're still working on a new show close for the program that will include some tasteless and inappropriate remarks, but we haven't got that finished yet. Let's see. Oh, I want to tell you, Building America. That is, Building America is returning. Not that it ever really went anywhere, but if you have a suggestion for a business that would fit Building America, just send an email to Beth at mojo50.com. Beth at MoJo50.com, and she will decide. She'll be the arbiter of which businesses make it through, because we're going to continue that on, of course, in Doc's honor, and we will continue to build America. Get some.
Brandon's Beer says, I'm sad that the Brandon Morse, his fiance, won't let me go all rants of Izzo caveman. The skinny jeans are also constricting the blood flow to certain places.
That's a problem with skinny jeans.
Yeah.
I just
whatchamacallit, oh my God, please quit with Nancy, Hillary, and Kamala talk, please. No, we're gonna keep that up. I'm gonna tell you, we can switch them, and we can switch you on your view of them.
To some people, when you mention them, it just makes them. It will do that, but to others,
plug your nose and go right in. Just dive in.
Yeah, dive on in. So up in New York, they are in a bit of a. It looked like things were going to go quite well for Amazon. They were going to build a distribution center in New York. Dallas was actually one of the finalists in the whole contest, and in the end, Amazon chose New York, and then figured out exactly what was wrong with choosing New York. Now, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she
is kind of hot.
She is hot, but the more she opens her mouth, well, first of all, she had something wise to say about the Amazon cancellation of its distribution center, and this is from I think it's CBS News.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was a fierce critic of Amazon coming to New York. She called the news today incredible.
It shows that everyday Americans still have the power to organize and fight for their communities, and they can have more say in this country than the richest man in the world.
When she said everyday Americans, it brought back memories of was it North or South Carolina? U.S. Americans?
Yeah, I get her intent, but who's ever writing for her is not having her deliver it well.
I think she wings it.
No. I think she's actually sat down, she's got the secret Get Smart bubble. And they're telling her
secrecy.
They're telling her right there what to say, but she's going, no, I'm more important than you thought I would be, and she's going off on her own a little, but she's being told.
Well, on Meet the Press on Sunday, it was interesting. Bill de Blasio, mayor of New York City, and Chuck Todd had a little discussion about said Ocasio-Cortez. And this is what it sounded like.
From Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, because I'm curious to see if maybe there's some a factual divide, if you will, on how this deal worked. Take a listen.
If we were willing to give Amazon willing to give away $3 billion for this deal, we could invest those $3 billion in our district ourselves if we wanted to. We could hire out more teachers. We can fix our subways. We can put a lot of people to work for that money if we wanted to.
Now think about that. If we had that $3 billion instead of giving it to Amazon, it's a brilliant point.
Uncle Brad,
instead of giving it to Amazon, why don't we use that to fix the subways that need elevators so that people who are handicapped cannot get down said stairs? And the woman who died, holding her baby as she tried to walk down the stairs, why aren't we fixing things in New York instead of giving $3 billion in cash to Amazon?
Hey, Uncle Brad, I got a question
Yes,
about
sir.
how basic
Yes,
economics
sir.
work.
Yes,
If I
sir.
wanted to come to the island of Brad and I want to open up a business there, and I'm probably going to be projected to make $100 in my time there, and you give me a break of $10.
Yes.
Does that mean you're going to give me $10 you already have?
No.
Oh, how does that work?
No, you see, that's where the economics major,
Ocasio-Cortez,
kind of screwed it up. That money doesn't exist. They weren't, and I think everyone on the planet, with the exception of her and maybe two people on the island of Tonga, and probably they even know that money was not, they were not handing the money over to Amazon.
No, see, that's where you got it dead wrong. That's where you actually got it dead wrong. It's not two people. It's probably hundreds of thousands of people who believe what this psychopath says. She is a dangerous, dangerous woman. People applauded her. Oh, that's right. We got Amazon. That's right. We're the little people. Oh, we lost money? Okay, they're going to go right back to her. She is dangerous.
It is stunning, her lack of a grasp on basic economics. And then Chuck Todd and Mayor de Blasio continued and explained things.
It seems a lot of people think that when you give a tax incentive, that that somehow that's money you had over here and it was going over there. This is money that didn't exist.
It's money that you had over here and it's going over there.
First they took my arms off, they throw them over there.
I wonder if Chuck Todd sitting there is stunned that he has, and he's having to. He would have been delighted had this been a Republican who had made this statement, but he's having to explain away Ocasio-Cortez's idiocy with the mayor.
This $3 billion. Okay, do you feel as if this is a problem in trying to explain how this deal worked?
Do you feel like this is a problem in trying to explain? And he said that with a straight face, to which Mayor de Blasio replied.
Yeah, look, this was a deal that was going to bring $27 billion in revenue to the state and city for things like public education, mass transit, affordable housing. And that $3 billion would go back in tax incentives was only after we were getting the jobs and getting the
revenue. There's not $3 billion in money that exists anywhere, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just cannot believe that they... Are they each day when they get up wondering how the hell she got elected?
No, they're thankful because on one end of it too, she's giving them a chance to redeem themselves. De Blasio, who's probably an insanely hated mayor, I don't know one cop in New York who actually likes the guy. She's making him look like a hero.
I have a friend who says, "Thank God for the idiots; they make the rest of us look like geniuses." Mm-hmm. And right now, it's making De Blasio and Chuck Todd look like geniuses.
Yeah. So here's the bottom line. I think people were looking for fairness here. They were looking for a positive outcome for everyday people. That meant jobs. That meant revenue to improve their lives. We saw Amazon make that deal, then walk away. Now, in terms of the point you're raising about the progressive movement, I'm a proud progressive. Right. We have a city that is working. We have the most jobs we've ever had. We're the safest big city in America. Progressives can govern and also give back to working people. That's why we have paid sick leave. That's why I've announced a plan for paid vacation, 2 weeks paid vacation for everyone who works in New York City.
How is the government going to give everyone who works in New York City paid vacation?
Don't you know that it's part of every other plan they have, like eliminating cars and planes and giving out free college? And it's just going to happen. Why do you question? Why don't you just blindly believe like we're supposed to?
And this was in the Green New Deal as well. They were going to have financial support for those unwilling or unable to work.
Free money. Keep printing it.
It is.
Did you hear that the base salary of those Amazon jobs was like $150,000?
It was the average salary. They were going to, there's 12 or 25,000 jobs. They said that half of them were going to be janitorial, I think, and
could you imagine cleaning toilets for them?
I don't think they were going to be making each one. That was the average. So there were going to be some lower paying jobs, but there were going to be 25,000 jobs. The residents in New York were concerned that, number one, rents were going to go. It was gentrification of the neighborhoods, essentially. And they were concerned that the rents would go up, that they would not be able to afford to live where they live. It's possible. I guess the alternative or the option to that is to let the neighborhoods continue to decay.
Sure, but then you bring in Amazon, and Amazon all of a sudden brings in other people from out of county, out of state, because I think the other state borders. You're just going to increase the value of your neighborhood. I don't know why they wouldn't want to do that. It works. It works in Chicago. You know, and if they're going to go by this whole this liberal progressive issue, anyways, you know what? I can't picture their government. You'd go to Ocasio-Cortez, and you'd go, okay, well, now you allowed Amazon come in. Now what program are you going to have that I can continue to pay for my my apartment, my house here?
Right. Well, the Amazon said the plan fell through because of opposition from a number of state and local politicians who made it clear that they oppose their presence, and will not work with us to build the type of relationships that are required to go forward. We already have a giant distribution center here in Dallas, and it's actually, I think, in Irving. There's a butt ton of stuff.
What kind of ton?
Butt ton.
It's not wrong.
Which is variable depending on whose butt. But we have more retailers and corporate offices in Irving than I've ever seen anywhere. And I've never seen a town continue to build in the 6 years I've been here. It's incredible. The amount of construction. They are always putting up a new building.
And has it made it worse or better?
Oh, it's so far. It's I can order something on Amazon. I can, in a lot of cases.
What kind of stuff do you order?
The good stuff.
There you go.
It can be delivered the same day.
Yeah.
This is a great
that
world.
prevents you from changing your mind and feeling guilty about the order, and you stay in the mood. You're like, I really want this. I need
feel
this right
guilty.
now. And everybody knows what kind of guilt that kind of stress brings on. It's like, it came in today. I can finish.
Feels,
yes,
but it
does.
feels so good.
Yes, it does.
I don't know why, and maybe they're right. Maybe maybe it would have taken the neighborhood down in New York. It just seems to me that they missed a big opportunity to really improve their the economy.
And New York's a toilet too.
Unfortunately, yeah, it is. I do love Manhattan though. Manhattan is a fabulous city. Unless it's July and it's 100 degrees, then it smells interesting. But there's just something about the fact that it just, any time of day or night, you can get anything you want. It doesn't matter what you want, you can get it. Just saying, and it's usually relatively inexpensive. By the way, I hadn't given the phone number out, and I don't know. It's been up on the screen, though. 202-866-7466 if anybody feels like joining the broadcast.
I know there's somebody who wanted to call me in.
Bum Orion. 20 Bum Orion is what the phone number spells. So the TSA released its photos of its weirdest finds in 2018. And the top 10 things that it found, if you're watching on the Facebook Live or on the Periscope, you'll see these. We'll describe to you because they are pictures. I'll go ahead and start the video. This is, again, first of all, I'm questioning why the TSA is paying to have a video produced. And it just restarted. Here we go. So at number 10, the weirdest thing they found is a hatchet. That's
not a hatchet. That's a zombie apocalypse war weapon.
It's a hatchet.
That's not a hatchet. No. That's something that some very, very enterprising guy made in his basement, forged it, lives with his mom. He wears all black. He's into death metal. And my God, I want to stay with him when the zombies come.
It looks like a hatchet.
Look at that.
It's got the Punisher logo on it too.
Oh, you're gonna war with.
I guess they tried to find that somebody tried to bring this through TSA security. So, word of caution: do not bring said things through security. That's what you put in your checked bag. Number 9 on the list. This thing, I had to stare at this forever. And it says, unless you're Aquaman, you don't need this on your flight. I guess it's a spear.
Yeah, it's a spear gun. Look at that.
A spear gun. But what are the little horseshoe?
No, those are, you pull back. So that looks to me, that looks handheld because you can see the
handle.
Right, the handle. So you got those two,
it looks like
pockets.
An elongated pistol.
Right, but I think what you're putting in there, instead of a spear gun, I think you're putting like rocks or something. So
It's a slingshot gun.
Yes, that's what it looks like.
So wait, but you can't bring a slingshot gun on board a plane?
A projectile. No, projectile weapon.
Well, what do you can throw something on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
You could throw something. Let's say, okay, so are they...
Try throwing my
you ever
X-Ones
been
on a plane?
hit by rubber band?
Rubber, okay, but I'm just saying, if you're a major league pitcher, you could throw something probably as fast as this little slingshot gun could shoot something, couldn't you? So are they banning pitchers from?
I guess actually that's not a rubber band gun so much.
No, it's a handheld. It looks like an elongated pistol. If you picture a
it looks
Glock
like
with a long nose, really
it's
long
like a spear
barrel.
fisherman thing.
Yeah. But then the two little horseshoe shaped things look like that's what you hold back to put something in a slingshot.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell it is, you cannot bring it on a plane.
Human ingenuity is fantastic.
It is, really. And they say unless you're Aquaman, you cannot bring it on the flight.
What if you're Aquaman?
I don't understand what Aquaman has to do with it.
See, look at this, okay?
A switchblade. And again, this is these are the top 10 weird things the TSA said they found last year.
That looks like something off of Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's it. So that's human ingenuity right there. Look at that. Some weird guy is in his basement right now, and he watched Seven, and he saw the scene with the guy from Lust, and he made me put that on, and he's going, I need to create that. Some sicko does it. God, I love people.
It looks like 4 switchblade knives that have been placed back to back, so you could hold them all in one hand, and the knives would be directed out in 4 different directions: northeast.
Yeah, Edward Scissorhands.
Is that what?
I don't friggin' cut your head off, man.
So you can't. Now, there is the reason that you couldn't bring it on board because the blade is too long. Because now you can bring like a 2-inch blade.
Can you really?
Yeah.
So you couldn't bring in a box cutter before, but now it's a 2-inch blade.
The rules keep changing.
Yeah, that's why I don't fly.
You
Screw
can
it.
bring a lighter on board.
No.
It's crazy the things you can bring and can't
bring a bottle of water on board.
No, because you might be able to blow up the plane if you brought a bottle of water on board.
Stupid
Number
people.
7, snakes. I remember this story. The snakes that someone had hidden inside a power supply for a computer.
Yeah, well,
a bag of snakes.
My ex, so that keeps them warm then. Yeah, my ex couldn't go on planes
because of snakes.
No, she is a snake.
Number 6. It's a
Cutlery. That's cutlery. That's nothing more. The guy wanted to chop a salad.
If that.
Please come back to the checkpoint. You forgot your baby carrier.
Oh, it was hidden inside a baby carrier.
Well, why
so
would
again, if you're going to, it makes no sense. I get that but if you're going to outlaw knives, why is a 2-inch or screwdrivers? You can take, I think it's up to a 6-inch screwdriver on board, but not. We went through a few times with our camera equipment, and we had screwdrivers in the bag to make sure we could change things in and out. And they actually got, well, you might be able to got a tape measure, started to measure the screwdriver.
Okay.
So we were in a hurry. We said, just keep the screw. No, we'll measure it for you, which makes no sense because I can kill you with a 2-inch screwdriver.
Mm-hmm. Here's a clock bomb.
This is, it looks like a clock radio, a very old clock radio with 3 sticks of dynamite and a small timer taped to the bottom.
The kid that Obama brought to the office or the White House.
Right. Clock boy.
The clock kid, yeah.
This looks to me like this is not
No,
real.
look at it. Look at the hand-drawn.
Yeah. It's a hand-drawn clock with probably cardboard tubes that look like they're painted red to look like dynamite and some wires.
On top of a digital non-functioning clock.
See, something like this seems to me that somebody did this just to see if they could get it through. Ta-da! TSA beat you! Take that, sucker! You can't bring a clock radio dynamite thing on board. At number 4, aren't they cute? If they look like, well, they're hand grenades that have little tuxedos painted on them, so they tend to look like little penguins.
Yeah, I'd run.
They say you cannot bring those on board. Are they real?
I'm not taking that chance. I don't care.
Are they? In this one, I can understand. I guess if it looks like I wouldn't take
bigger
the
than
chance.
Benoit balls. Look at them.
Which, by the way, you apparently can take on board.
You got to smuggle them in.
Giant scissors is at number 3, and one of the TSA agents in the blue "Respect Me" top is wearing or is holding in her hands a pair of scissors that is approximately 2 feet long.
Those are obviously novelty.
These are used for ribbon cutting ceremonies at the opening of a business.
But did you ever see George C. Scott in Exorcist 3?
Nah, by then The Exorcist has gone so totally downhill.
No. That movie was fantastic, and there's a scene where they use these surgical scissors that are approximately that size, and they're spring-loaded, and they snip someone's head off because of the spring. So I don't know.
You know, it was just a movie, right?
It was fantastic.
Really. It takes a while to chop somebody's head off.
Fantastic. Well, it's a fantastic movie.
Well, these scissors they're about 2 feet long, and it doesn't say what they're made out of. I doubt that they're made out of metal, but I guess they could be. But why? Let's think about it. They probably. Let's imagine that they are sharp. If they are sharp, I can see.
Those were used for my circumcision, anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they from New York. Okay, that's not our caller that is supposed to be at the. But we'll see in a second. So anyway, you cannot bring giant scissors through the TSA. Apparently, at number 2. This looks to be World War II ordnance. It looks like a bomb that would be dropped out of, let's say, a twin.
That doesn't even fit in any suitcase.
No, I don't know what. Although there's nothing in the picture to give us size reference.
Hey, the description says it's inert.
It says one man's emotional support object is another man's inert mortar round.
How do you
round.
prove that it's inert? That's what I want to know.
Drop it on the floor, see if it blows up.
That's at least 10 inches.
If it oh no. Well, look at the little price tag on it.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so 6.
That could be
maybe a foot long.
But yeah, so that could be a larger price tag because look at the thickness of back where it launches out of.
Right.
That thing is big. Looks like me.
Whatever it is, don't try to bring it on board an airline.
Oh, my God.
And the number one weird object found, much fanfare, the TSA, thank you, is...
there it is.
There you go, Ron.
A Freddy Krueger glove.
That's the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
That would be your nightmare right there. And
Now,
if
you know
those-
what? I bet a lot of these came from people going to cosplay
Right.
conferences. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I told you couldn't bring your nightmare on your Freddy glove on your carry-on, man. I told you needed to put that in your suitcase. It's again, are those real knives? Are those just pieces of tin?
You know,
I don't know.
let's just do some damage.
So don't any of the above 10 things.
Scratch your eye out.
Do not bring aboard an airplane because TSA is gonna get you. They're going to get you. They're going to take you down. All right, let's go to the phone and see who our caller is. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hello, caller. Oh, no. Hello, guys.
Hi.
This is Pat. Hi. This is Pat or Kitty, depending on.
Hi, Pat.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm glad you made it home
Hi.
safely, you and your husband.
Yeah, we did. After a while, we finally got home. I just wanted to say my computer fried while we were away. I can't tweet. I'm going crazy because, I depend on my computer.
Well, yeah,
And,
I can see
so
where
I have
you'd
been
be.
Twitter absent.
I can see. Can you not tweet from your phone?
No, I the visual thing, I just have a dumb phone. I do everything on
Wow.
the computer with magnification.
There's a phone out
So
there
I'm
that
like-
doesn't have Twitter on it? What are you? Was it from the 1800s?
I know. It's like this change. It's tough.
Well, I'm
But it
glad
was
that,
great.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it was so good to meet you and Beth. It was so, and everybody, but
Especially
with so
me,
many
though.
People and
Especially me.
but
No,
yes,
I understand
especially
that.
you.
So, I have that effect on a lot of people. It's just, and don't be embarrassed. It's just that thing.
It makes me moist.
I've just got that thing going on. Whatever that thing is, it's I've just got it. It's almost embarrassing.
It's a je ne sais quoi. I don't know.
Yes,
I don't know.
It must
You know what
be
I mean?
French.
Yeah.
Okay, Izzo, now say that in Italian.
Agulafisa de Sur. Nobody needs to translate that.
Are we going to have problems here?
No, it should be.
Brad, Izzo is a freak. You figured that out by now, right?
I hadn't noticed.
Who do you think taught me?
I hadn't noticed.
He gave me cliff notes and said, "Study this before you come here."
What do you think so far?
Oh, I'm sure.
You like him sitting over there? He's not wearing any pants. Oh, you can't see him.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, that's the best part.
You can't see
No,
him.
I can't see it. I don't have the computer.
Oh, well, let me describe to you that he actually decided to come in today wearing no pants, so he is sitting there with everything just right out there for the general public to see.
My,
And it's,
my penis is on the couch.
It's reclining.
And
So,
that's far away. Wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
So yeah, you'll have to when you get your computer back, you'll have to go back and watch the video, and hopefully Facebook hasn't pixelated it.
Oh, well, I'll binge watch.
That's a good idea.
There you go.
How far did you guys have to drive to get home after last Friday?
Well, it was about 5 hours for us, but for some reason, my husband thought staying up for 24 hours and not staying over was a great idea. So something about being there just made him feel like I could do this, and we just drove straight home, which was really a dumb idea, but we got here.
How many hours? How many hours you say it was to drive?
5.
Oh, 5. Okay.
It wasn't that.
From where?
Yeah.
From what state do you live in?
New York.
Oh,
over from
4.5 to 5 hours.
over
Yeah.
from Ohio, Geneva.
No,
I
it
keep
wasn't
thinking
horrible.
Ohio. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. So that's
It was
not-
actually a really good drive. We hardly had any traffic until we got to the Cleveland area, so it was.
that always
we made
happens.
good
Did you
time.
listen to replays of on MoJo 50 on the way back?
No.
I'd put you on the spot.
I was going to
Put
say
you on the spot.
That would be much like when we asked Ron, a man behind the glass, if he used toys, and it was just that slightest hesitation. When we can always tell We can always tell what the answer is. It's that hesitation. So now we know. But it was it's that little hesitation. But it was fabulous to meet you and the rest of the jackholes. I wish it had been under different circumstances. But are you going to make it?
I know it.
You coming to MoJoCon?
No, and that's why we really wanted to go to the funeral because I really don't travel that well.
Neither do I.
Well, at least we can get that far.
There you go. So if it can't be MoJoCon, at least it's a funeral.
What's that?
If it can't be MoJoCon, at least it's a funeral.
Yeah, really. Don't have any more funerals, though. That really sucks.
Yeah, and they're expensive as hell, by the way. Funerals are not cheap. They get you when you're coming into this world and when you're going out, both times. So
are you going to make Izzo stay in Texas?
He chains me up in his closet at night. So
it depends on if he continues to follow all of my instructions when we're not here.
And you don't undo the chain.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want him undone. Right. I feel better when I'm securing. It's like a security blanket.
There's a lot of things that hinge on whether or not he stays. So that's we'll find out if he's the obedient type or if he likes to be a little feisty. Not that there's anything wrong with being a little feisty. It's just
no.
If he plays the game right,
I just push back harder.
There you go.
Well, it's not who's going to let him, who's going to stop it.
There you go. That's right. Of course, the answer to that question now is Amtrak. So there you go. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love you back, too. Thanks for being out there, computerless and all. Maybe somebody will send her a computer. She'll get it fixed. She'll get it fixed. We need to tell you about Patriot Mobile. If you have not yet opened your Patriot Mobile account, what are you waiting for, you heathen, you communist pinko? What is wrong with you?
Coach Cruz was the first time I ever heard that phrase. I was 12-year-old for my first wrestling camp ever, and this man screamed at me while I shot a double leg takedown, and he grabbed me by my hair, pulled my head up, and screamed, "Get your head up, you commie pinko F word."
See? So don't be a commie pinko. Go to Patriot Mobile. Are those Patriot Mobile cups? Yes. Oh, excellent. If you go to patriotmobile.com/Doc, not only will you see a great picture of Doc with a lot of hair, but you'll find out that by signing up for the Patriot Mobile account, you are going to be helping in draining the swamp. You're not going to be contributing to the big mobile guys who actually, in turn, contribute part of the money that you pay them each month to progressive causes like, Planned Parenthood or other things that, Judith Ginsburg is on TV right now. Sorry.
She's alive?
Whoa, I caught my eye.
Oh, no.
Distracted
me.
See,
here's a question. Right, here's a question. Would you?
No.
How much?
None.
How much?
$1 million.
Everybody has a price.
5 million.
Everybody
You're
has
right.
a price.
Everybody does have a price. 5 million? Yeah, I would.
She's a freak. She's a freak. She's a judicious, black robe, nothing underneath freak. Oh, Ruth.
Uh-huh. Sorry, I got distracted there. PatriotMobile.com/Doc. They support causes like PragerU, like Camp Hope, like Empower Texas, like the Tea Party Patriots, and more. If you go to PatriotMobile.com/Doc, you will find out more information on how you can be part of the solution and not the problem. Now I've just got to get that image of Ruth Bader Ginsburg out of my head.
Leave it.
That's nasty. Oh, I'm going to get the brain bleach, and this is your Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 5-0.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. He's back.
Hi, I'm Bernie Sanders. I'm running for president.
The senator from Vermont making the announcement this morning, joining a growing field of candidates seeking the Democratic nomination in 2020. Sanders saying his campaign is about more than defeating Donald Trump, who Sanders calls the most dangerous president in modern American history.
Our campaign is about transforming our country and creating a government based on the principles of economic, social, racial, and environmental justice.
The 77-year-old is a self-described democratic socialist. California leading 16 states in a legal challenge to President Trump's declaration of a national emergency at the southern border. The California Attorney General arguing the president's move is unconstitutional.
And in New York, Attorney General Letitia James says the Trump administration's plan to divert funding from military construction and other programs to pay for a border wall threatens her state's public safety infrastructure. All of the states involved in the lawsuit have attorneys general who are Democrats.
That's correspondent Jackie Quinn. The president declaring the emergency in order to speed construction of a border wall he says is necessary to keep drugs and criminals out of the country. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein reportedly preparing to exit the Justice Department. An unnamed department official telling the AP that Rosenstein will step down in the middle of next month. The move wouldn't come as a surprise now that William Barr is Attorney General and is overseeing the special counsel's investigation. The White House expected to name a replacement for Rosenstein sometime this week. On Wall Street, futures pointing to a lower open later this morning. Right now, Dow futures are down about 56 points. S&P futures 8 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Universal truth number 14, pain sucks. If you haven't yet tried Relief Factor, what are you waiting for? Go to relieffactor.com, get their 3-week quick start pack for just $20 and see if it helps your chronic pain. Relieffactor.com.
Hi there. This is Watson Prunier, host of Battle for Freedom on MoJo 50 Radio. Battle for Freedom is an endeavor about freeing people from the illusion of tribalism. Tribalism is the political presupposition that remains as one of the biggest anchors to gridlock and stalemate in society today. Most people do not even realize how they are tied to their ethnicity, their gender, sexual preference, and political party. Most conservatives believe that identity politics is solely an issue with liberals, and that's furthest from the truth. That's why I broadcast live on MoJo 50 Radio, Mondays and Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is to reach anyone willing to be set free with the truth. Tell your friends about this Caucasianly challenged Christian host on MoJo 50 Radio. Battle for Freedom, Mondays and Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
But let's talk about the Golden Globes. Christian Bale said Satan inspired him playing Dick Cheney. Did Satan also inspire him to assault his wife, his sister, and his mother? Did Satan also inspire that? Just asking.
Brandon Morse, today at 1. MoJo 50.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Rebel rousers, instigators, troublemakers, freaks, agitators, fanatics, scallywags, mutants, scamps, firebrands, rogues, scoundrels, MoJo sexuals. MoJo 50.
The mothership has landed.
It really doesn't seem to matter your stance on her politics, but it seems universal when people think about Ruth Bader Ginsburg under the robe.
You know what? Everybody just has to toughen up and finish.
That's for $5 million. I'll do just that.
Do for $1 million. Think about it. $1 million would do it.
You can't. Money doesn't go as far as it used to. You used to be.
Neither does my sex life, so I can't be too choosy.
You used to be able to take $1 million and split it up into $10,000, $100,000 T-bills and make some money, and now not so much. This just in,
Teabag Ginsburg.
Wow. I just Googled Jesse Smollett.
Mm-hmm.
Things are not working out for him the way I think he had planned.
What's going on now with him?
This is pretty amazing. So starting at the beginning, we all know that he at this point, it sure looks like he may have staged the entire attack. But why? The thing that everybody, almost the footnote to this story was the fact that before the attack, he had received a letter at the studio where they shoot Empire, which I've never seen. But the letter it was a hate letter, and it had Tylenol in it. They were supposed to be anthrax.
And it looked like it was those old movie letters were chopped out of other newspaper articles when I put together to form sentences, right?
So we don't know who sent it, but although the cops may now know that.
There you go.
Because they took magazines and things from the brothers. So it turns out he may have actually sent the letter himself, or had the letter sent. It didn't get enough attention, so he went back to the well and got these two brothers, it looks like, at this point, to stage the attack against him. He paid them about $4,000. $3,500 up front.
Do you know who he is? He's. Do you remember the movie Endless Love from the 80s?
Yeah.
He has set the girl's porch on fire and then put it out so that she'll fall in love with you. That's what this is. That was Tom Cruise's first movie, by the way. He was not the main character, but he was in it.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
I was going to say because it was different. Yeah. Anyway, then there was the rumor that he had done this because his role in Empire was about to be. Then Fox came out and said, no, the role is not. He's safe. That's ridiculous.
Because they're not going to be boycotted by the black community and say, why are you getting rid of a gay black man?
Well, get this. TMZ is reporting that Jussie Smollett's Empire screen time is getting slashed in the wake of growing sentiment that he staged the so-called attack. Production sources tell TMZ that he was supposed to have 9 scenes and a big musical number. It was going to be fabulous in the second to last episode, which is being shot now, but 5 of his scenes have been cut and his musical number has been 86th.
He's going to be doing Big Gay Al reruns now.
Wow. So that is the result of apparently his...
didn't think it out too good.
He really didn't put a lot of thought into this.
You get caught. There's nothing you can do. I'm telling people, I don't know why people don't understand this. Being 100% honest and authentic, owning your garbage, admitting that you're a warped degenerate, anything like I do, is so liberating. So somebody can grab my phone and go, "Oh my God, I saw you did X, Y, and Z." And I go, "Yep, yep." So now what?
I totally agree.
It is so liberating. If you lived like this, oh man. But no.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you're not into feet, I'm okay with it. If you're into feet, you are a freak that is beyond salvation.
No, I like good feet, but I don't like to utilize those. No, I don't. No, I don't like to utilize those feet. I don't want to touch me, but I just don't. If you got bad feet, get them away from me.
I just don't understand the people.
Do you see the trend? And it's been going on for maybe about 20 years now. The women who will get sandals and they're a tad too small for their feet, and their eagle claw talons will be hanging over, and you're like, I don't want that stuff running up and down my leg if you're in bed with me.
Ripping the skin.
Oh my gosh! Get your granny toes off me.
The story continues
Ruth
that
Bader Ginsburg.
Smollett auditioned for a role in a play that shares eerie similarities to the alleged attack. He may have used Instagram to tip off the brothers to his whereabouts the night of the beatdown, according to a report that came in yesterday. In the hours before the attack in Chicago, in quotes, he was in New York for a day of readings for a possible revival of Take Me Out, which is a Broadway play.
Is that a term or like?
It's apparently it's the title of a play. It could be a term. Like Cleveland Steamer. So,
I'm a fan of the Hot Carl.
There was one that they mentioned on Shameless the other day that I have to look it up. It was Bob Saget talked about it. Which, by the way,
I adore that man.
He's gained a little weight.
Well, haven't we all?
He didn't look the same. I had to actually use it was on Amazon, so I had to do the little X-ray feature, whatever it's called, where you can see who's in the scene. It's like, damn, that's Bob Saget.
I don't even have to ask this question, but I'm going to ask it because I know the answer already. You have seen the documentary / movie, The Aristocrats.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I knew it. I never knew it was the best kept secret in Hollywood about Bob Saget.
No, he's quite a character. Yes, he is.
Warped. I love him.
The Tony-winning production, this being Take Me Home, follows a biracial baseball player who is attacked by a pitcher and called the N-word
Is he a pitcher?
and a faggot after coming
catcher.
out. Wow.
Oh my God, get over it. You know what? Please, for the love of God, do what you want to do. Kiss your boys. Do whatever you want to do. Just keep it out of my business.
I do not care who you sleep with. I don't care what you sleep with.
I'll watch for $5, but I don't care.
I mean, yeah, and I may watch for 3 minutes and I'll probably lose interest.
There you go.
For another
That's
10.
all it takes.
For another 10 minutes. I might be back.
Got a nap.
At a sandwich. Zachary Quinto was another one of them to perform the 2 readings that day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Then Smollett goes back to LaGuardia to fly back to Chicago to film the final episodes of the fourth season of Empire. The flight got delayed, so on Instagram, he's posting on Instagram as apparently the brothers are supposed to be watching his Instagram feed to see where he is.
Oh, so they use that as a coordinate it, right?
Right.
Just like the guy with the pizza from earlier. Tracking.
Yes, exactly.
You can't hide anything anymore.
Technology. Well, he wasn't. He thought he was hiding in plain sight, but they got him. So this thing continues to unfold. The only thing that's left is for him to come out and say, "I did it."
You have to double down at this point. You absolutely have to hold 100% true. The stupidest thing he can ever do is go, "All right, I'll tell you the truth." He has got to hold on to this until the day he dies and say, "I'm not changing my story. I was attacked." We got the evidence. We got the evidence. Nope.
What happens what happens though when they show the video of him buying the rope at Crafty
Then his
Beaver?
lawyer says, "My client has mental health issues. My client is not himself. The stress has broken to the stress of being a gay person of color in the United States has gotten him." He sits there. He made this comment. I go hard on I come hard on 45. It's like, no, you come hard on other men. But the problem is that now you are letting the stress get you. If he was a smart man, he would play this. Nope. I don't remember doing that. I don't remember doing. That's not me in that video. Go insane. Spend 5 years off the scene. Come back and write a book.
I guess that's.
I found myself, Ellen. I found myself.
And they will welcome him back with open arms.
Yes, they will. Open buttholes.
Whatever it takes. Then you have Kamala Harris, who
I'm sorry.
Quick on
all
the
these
draw.
Democrat women, I would.
There's a lot of them.
I know.
The Democrats do seem to have that going on for them. Kamala Harris, who is officially a candidate for the president of the United States, tweeted out initially that she said it was basically a modern-day lynching. But apparently she has kind of a short memory when it comes to those things, because they caught up to her at a campaign stop and asked her about the tweet, and this was her response.
Which tweet? What tweet?
About saying that it is a modern day lynching that...
Sorry.
And at that point, she's like looking around her, looking at her aides. And
she got that uncomfortable laughter.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry. And she looks back at the reporter and they continue.
Okay, so I will say this about that case. I think
she sounds like me after the hooker asked for her money.
Right? Yeah. Or you've just gotten home. You're a teenager and you've just gotten home and your parents meet you at the door. Where have you been?
That's when these people need to be smart and say, my Twitter account is run by 5 or 6 staffers.
Right.
But pass the blame.
Instead, she gives the classic.
Okay, so I will say this about that case. I think that the facts are still unfolding. And
really?
This is modern day Tawana Brawley.
It's amazing. So actually, you finally came to the conclusion that the facts are still unfolding.
No, but she wants to sit there and hope that the facts are still going to point to the fact to validate her.
But why? If you had just come out in the beginning, this thing smelled to high heaven from the very beginning. How anybody, again, and I will state, and it is horrible if someone is attacked for being black, for being gay, for being whatever. You should never, that is not acceptable. But when you are attacked by 2 guys and then they yell, "This is MAGA country," it's like you just got attacked by 2 of the 7 dwarves. It doesn't make any sense at all. This is MAGA country. This is MAGA country. Say, this is MAGA country. Nobody says that.
I'm very concerned about, obviously.
I'm very concerned about it, obviously, she ended with.
Stephen English on Twitter says, Kamala Harris, that jacket she tried on looked like Tetris. That's evidence of Russian collusion.
Which, by the way, that seems to have gone to the back burner.
I don't know. I still would. She's kind of hot.
She's not bad.
No,
ask
her
Willie,
AOC, I'm just telling you.
Ask Willie Brown. Willie Brown knows. Yeah. Well, of course, that never got any traction either. It's like,
they could do everything, and it doesn't make a difference.
She slept her way to the... so who cares? Who cares? And I don't. I don't care who you slept with to get where you are.
How do you think I got here?
Exactly.
Thank you, Ron.
Right. I had to bump.
It doesn't hurt anymore?
I had to bump somebody off to get to the big chair. Then there's Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton, who I will have to say this. They're saying that he flipped on the whole thing. I don't know. I went back and listened to some of the quotes, and he did say he did not lay it at the feet of the president, which I thought that's fair, because all of these people who are saying it's the hateful rhetoric of the president being spewed and used as fuel in all of these attacks.
No. You know what this is? Because Sharpton never caved in with the Tawana Brawley. To this day, he still won't do it. You know what I think this is? As far as somebody like him, he's an opportunist. He's going to go where he feels safe and powerful. And he's known Trump for years.
Right.
I'm telling you, some of these people are starting to smarten up. They're seeing the Democrat Party is starting to implode, and they are saving face, and they're going to align themselves with Trump. They're going to start doing it.
It's absolutely possible. Here's what Al Sharpton came out and said, I think it was yesterday.
Into the alleged assault against actor Jussie Smollett late last month in Chicago. Lawyers for Smollett.
Hold on, wait, for who?
He is such
Lawyers
a
for
dope.
Smollett.
Lawyers for who?
Lawyers for Smollett.
He's the worst.
Remain adamant that their client was a victim of a hate crime centering on his race and sexual orientation, amid some reports that Smollett may have colluded with two former persons of interest to stage the alleged attack. I, among many others, when hearing of the report, said that the reports were horrific and that...
Agreed. It was horrific. If, in fact, and we said it too, if, in fact, this man was attacked for said reasons, it is absolutely heinous. The addendum to that was, boy, this doesn't smell right.
We should come with all that we can come with in law enforcement to find out what happened, and the guilty should suffer the maximum.
Suffer the maximum.
I still maintain that. And if it is found that Smollett and these gentlemen did in some way perpetrate something that is not true, they ought to face accountability to the maximum. But let's not act like this is some left-wing hoax that some are saying on social media.
Christine Blasey Ford, what?
Yeah.
I look like I am a skeleton from a science laboratory that somebody colored in brown crayon. That's who I am, Mr. Smollett.
Al Sharpton is a bit of a cartoon.
President Trump called this horrible.
Yes.
And he's certainly not a left-winger. And many across the spectrum, because of Smollett's history as an actor and an activist.
Okay, when he says activist, what does that mean exactly?
You wake up this morning, something's important to you, and all of a sudden you decide to use your platform to bitch about it. There is no activism anymore. You're not going to
that would make us activists.
Yeah. Yes, I'm activist for bacon and hookers.
I love this. I've just discovered I have something new to put on a resume today.
Stood and said this needs to be looked into. None of us talked directly with him. We were alarmed at what was reported. Donald Trump Jr. started tweeting yesterday, well, they just did this to discredit those that wear MAGA hats.
Okay. I think maybe that was a metaphor, people who wear MAGA hats being supporters of his father, in which case that's exactly what it was, because that is what Smollett came out and said, is that I come hard at 45. And that's why, if that wasn't his motivation, I don't know what was. And again, we're still...
Jussie Smollett went on Good Morning America, Don Jr., and said it never happened. He doesn't know how that got out. So people like me that were told that were being misled.
Mm-hmm. You remember the whole, they were wearing MAGA hats, and now they're saying Smollett did not say that it was misinformation. Okay.
Let us get to the bottom of it and let justice be done no matter who is right or wrong.
Oh, Jesse would love you getting to the bottom of it.
I actually have to agree with the Reverend Al Sharpton in that. Get to the bottom of it. Let's find out. Let's find. I mean, it looks like we're getting to the bottom of it, doesn't it?
I just think that it says this. The writing is on the wall. When you get the ultimate race baiter in the world, Al Sharpton, he is the epitome of race baiting.
All right.
What? Are you serious?
The Ricky?
The Ricky.
We'll take that in a second. So Trevor Noah has come out on Jesse Smollett.
Oh, him too.
And says that Smollett deserves an Emmy for the GMA interview. So apparently Trevor Noah is starting to doubt the whole story too. But I think that probably Al Sharpton
he's
summed
aligning
it up.
himself with Trump. He's saving his ass. That's all
He's summed it up though best, I think, in this
We
statement.
have more to go to build a movement of resistance, but resist we much. We must and we will much about that be committed.
I love
we
him.
must and we will much about that be committed.
I cannot have said it better myself. I cannot believe I agree with the Reverend Al Sharpton. So we'll keep an eye on this and find out how it continues to unfold the rest of the day. It'll be interesting to see if he holds to a story or not. So, all right, who's the caller calling from our $1 million phone system here? Ricky.
Oh God, put him through.
You like money? I like money. Not that Ricky.
Yeah.
Ricky, you there?
Hey, what happened, man?
Ricky, what's going on, man?
Hey, listen, man, when are you gonna pick me up?
Ricky, I'm in Texas, dude.
You better not be. You said I'm going with you.
Ricky, they called me last week, asked me if I could make it down. I literally packed a bag in a day and I left.
I hope you're joking. I got a cooler with some Coke 555s, and I got a big bag of big Fritos for the road. I even got some 8-tracks for the road trip.
Ricky, we can't drink Colt 45 when we're driving.
You can in Texas.
Have you ever been to Texas?
I was in Texas, and I walked in the gas station, and they had cold beer in a little cooler sitting by. I said, what the hell is going on here? And he said, you could buy beer. I said, I'm going to move to this state.
Well, yeah, I know we talked about that a couple of years ago. You were talking about moving down here. No, I'm in Texas for the week. I'm doing the morning show on Daily MoJo, on MoJo 50. I had to leave. Sorry.
Okay, now you're a big celebrity. I see.
No.
That's fine.
No. I got Brad. Brad Staggs is with me though, because he.
Are you leaving behind your fans?
Ricky's been a friend of mine for years. He lives on the South Side, and we hang out from time to time.
Ricky, I feel for you.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd be pissed. I'd be hurt too if he up and left without telling me.
I even shovel my sidewalk. I ain't ever shoveled my sidewalk in 25 years. And I was all excited to go on a road trip. I went outside, shoveled, made a big road trip box. I was going to make, good thing I didn't do it. I was going to make a mixtape.
Wait a minute. I left. You guys had another whiteout, didn't you?
Yeah, another 3 inches.
But it's a whiteout, right?
That's what she said.
But it's a whiteout? You got a whiteout?
Yeah, I don't.
Easy, Ricky.
Yeah, I
Easy.
see what you're trying to race bait me.
Well, we were just talking about Al Sharpton, and I know how much you like him.
Al Sharpton is a fool. he ain't nothing but a damn fool.
Yeah, I know. I thought you were related to him a little bit, but no, I'm sorry. When we get back, you wanna hit up Scores and maybe get some Frito casserole? We can go to JJ's Chicken and Shrimp.
Some up.
Oh, that's.
Yeah, we gotta go by. I bet in Texas they ain't got no chicken places where you walk inside and then you gotta place your order through bulletproof glass.
I don't think so. I haven't seen one here yet. No.
It sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, you know what? I should go down to Texas and make myself a franchise. I call it Ricky's Chicken Shack, and it'd be authentic. You walk inside, and there'll be bulletproof glass everywhere. You got to walk up to the glass, and then when you place your order, there's a little turnstile. You put the order on there. It's amazing, and it'd be great.
I think you'd clean up down here, Ricky.
Would you do that like the Nashville hot chicken, which I still have no idea where that came from, or just a mild chicken without the spice?
Well, I probably do my own version, like a fried chicken with a Fritos crust.
That actually sounds pretty good. I like that. You
Yeah.
You could dip that in a bowl of chili.
Is there any word on
You
this?
get down with some chili. Mm-hmm.
Hey, real quick, Ricky, is there any word on the street up there about the Jussie Smollett case? I know that they've been talking about the news here. I don't know if you heard anything on the street at all.
Oh, man, he lying. He lying. You know, that man get beat up, he get bleach poured on him, and then he still go home and eat a sandwich.
Any of your
that man gonna get bleach poured on him, he get beat up, he get a noose on his neck. What they need to do, if they were smart, because that other guy from Subway, that Spokes guy, he's in jail because he's a pedophile.
Yeah,
so
Darren.
they need to get Jason or something.
Yeah,
What's his name?
Jared.
Yeah. Yeah, he a pedophile. So they need to get this guy. They not get him to be the new spokesperson and say, man, I was beat up, I was bleached on, and I was hung with a noose, and nothing make me let go of my Subway.
Have your sisters had any contact with him at all?
Oh, yeah, my sister loved him because he's gay. Women, they're just like a magnet to a gay man.
It does seem odd, though, doesn't it?
It is.
Just,
it is.
They know they know they're like trying to get water from a dry well, right?
Yeah, they just know that there ain't nothing going on there, and they could share makeup tips and different things like that. I ain't gonna get specific, but you know what I'm saying.
All right, hey Ricky, it's great to hear from you. I'm sorry I didn't let you know. If I ever wind up extending my stay, maybe you can come on down.
It's a good idea.
All right, that sounds good. That sounds good. You have a good time.
All right, save those dollar bills and head to the strip club.
I already got them. Ready to go in a coffee can.
Wow.
Enjoy your Hershey Kisses.
All right, Ricky. Thanks for calling.
That's what I like.
Wow. Well, yeah, I'm glad you brought the whole gang with you. That's good. The Rich Solution, proud sponsor of this segment of the program this morning. TheRichSolution.com. It would be one Gwen and Adam Rich. And if you are watching the feed laid out in front of us here on the table, amidst the other accoutrement, would be the Life Extension brand of supplements that I will be taking. All of them, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 of them here. And these are hand-picked by Adam and Gwen specifically for my health. I'm going to have Gwen on before the end of the week because I want to get healthier.
Dear God, no. She'll probably take a look at me and go, you need this, you need this, you need this.
Yeah, you might as well just buy one of everything, including the great sex for women over 50. Or is it sex with women over 50?
Either way.
Whatever it takes. Yeah. So I'm going to be on this journey to a healthier, newer me in 2019. Because I got to sit over here now. So I guess I got to be healthy, give up the sugar and all that. Go to TheRichSolution.com. Find out how you can make your life more better. It's going to be more better. You're going to be more happy and more everything. TheRichSolution.com. This is your Daily Mojo.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
The media spotlight has been on Jussie Smollett lately, but for all the wrong reasons. His fantastical story of both an anti-black and anti-gay MAGA-inspired attack has begun to fall apart in an equally fantastical way. On that same night, a Jewish man just walking down the street in Brooklyn was attacked by 3 individuals. Nothing was stolen from him. It was straight up because he was Jewish. One is a real hate crime, the other a completely made-up story, and the latter's the one the media chose to cover wall-to-wall for the past 3 weeks. Since the media won't do its job, let me do it for you. Chicago isn't MAGA country in the least, and that should have been your first clue that this story stunk to high heaven, and you probably shouldn't have run with it so quickly. Also, the real story is the Jewish man that was attacked, and unlike Smollett, there's video evidence to prove it nonetheless. Oh, and there's another story attached to that attack as well, the growing and troubling trend of anti-Semitic attacks in NYC this year. According to local news reports, there are 42 hate crimes being investigated as of February 4th, compared to just 17 at the same point last year. The vast majority of those 42 investigations are for anti-Semitic attacks. The New York Times reported that there were 4 times as many attacks against Jews, 142, than against blacks as of October last year. Attacks against Jews have outnumbered attacks against transgender people by a factor of 20. To me, all of this proves we live in a 6-6 society today. The media and politicians are more into the oppression Olympics than actual truth of those who are being targeted. We should be calling out real hate crimes, yet when it happens to Jewish people, crickets from the media. That's equally as pathetic as their inability to see a fake story right in front of them from the get-go. This has been By the Numbers. I'm Andrew Coppins, and let's continue this talk over on Twitter at The Coppins Show.
The Daily Mojo.
Is that a yes? That was a yes. I did want to read some of the cards that we've been continuing to receive here at MoJo 50 to everybody. I mean, again, the best audience this side of someplace. You're being lifted up in prayer. God would give you his general peace and comfort and reassurance, his unchanging love for you. Love in Christ. Carol Ann. That's at CAC is AZ2. And it's funny because everybody puts their... 20 years ago, what's that little thing next to your name? That's my Twitter handle.
That's like the phone numbers back from the 40s and 50s. Mm-hmm. Connect me with Winchester 742, please.
Right. It's very strange the way technology has changed things. To all Mojo hosts, so sorry for your loss. God bless all of you. You can all do a great job, and you'll continue to do a great job. That's what you think. You had a great friend and a leader. Thank you for all that you do. True patriots. Very loyal listener in PA, Vicky. So thank you, Vicky, and the cards continue to come in. Actually, this one hasn't even been open. Let me tell you about my friend. May you find healing in the stories you tell as you remember and honor the life of our friend. Very nice. So thank you for sending these the cards in and the tweets and the Facebook posts and everything else. And we will continue to march on down the road or keep it on track, as
you do have some great listeners. You really do.
I've never seen anything like this. This has been amazing to me to see this group of people that has come together and created a family. On the line right now is Peter Pitts. He is the president of the Center for Medicine in the Public Interest. Peter, how are you?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, thank you. I saw the CBD oil is what we're going to be talking about. The interesting thing about this is an initiative from the FDA just came out and it was an update to the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act of 1994. First of all, what was that? Give us a little background on that, first of all.
Well, obviously, as all the listeners know, dietary supplements are an exploding part of the healthcare ecosystem, and the DSHEA Act was a way to have the FDA regulate the quality of these products that had been exploding on the marketplace with no regulation at all.
Mm-hmm. And it's essentially to keep. It was like the fen-phen. Did that have any bearing on that? The combination of those drugs.
Exactly. That's exactly kind of what drove this forward. A lot of people were taking things, they didn't know what they were. The labels were wrong. The quality was questionable. There was no federal oversight. And then with fen-phen and other products that had ephedra in it, people actually died. So the FDA really stepped up to the plate to take care of the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Northwestern football player. That's when ephedra, when I was younger, taking that left and right. Yeah. That was amazing stuff. Then the football player dies and all of a sudden it's outlawed.
Yeah. And again, from a libertarian perspective, I say let them buy whatever they want.
Absolutely.
It's the whole thing. But with this, the update to this legislation, basically, they didn't even go into CBD oil. And why is that? And CBD oil, go ahead and explain what that is.
Right. So first of all, what the Farm Bill did was, it just passed in December, it decriminalized hemp products. Or the legislation was actually even illegal to sell it. So even though a lot of the CBD was on the market and sold online and sold in stores, it was technically illegal. So the law made it legal, but the FDA basically still has the authority to say whether or not it can be sold as a dietary supplement. And since CBD is the major pharmaceutical active ingredient in an RX drug, which is Epidiolex, the FDA said it cannot therefore be used as a dietary supplement. Now, whether or not you agree that this is overreach or regulatory creep or all that sort of stuff relative to regulation, it's the law. So I think that, and if you want the law to change, you've got to understand what the law says.
Sure.
And what the FDA is saying now is that CBD cannot be deemed a dietary supplement, which really, is interesting considering, the hundreds of products that are for sale in stores and online right now. It doesn't really kind of keep up with the reality of what's happening.
Now, you said something interesting there, because it is an active ingredient in a pharmaceutical made by, I'm assuming, a major pharmaceutical company, correct?
Well, it's a small company called GW Pharma, but any company that gets a drug approved through the FDA is dealing with hundreds of millions of dollars worth of ability.
So is this, in fact, a push or a nudge from that company to keep the competition down? Is that what this has any?
I think this is the FDA one saying if it is a ingredient in a RX drug, it can't be a dietary supplement. That's the law. So if we want the law to change, that's kind of point one. I think point two is the FDA really doesn't know right now how it wants to regulate CBD. What the FDA said was we're going to have a kind of expert, a blue ribbon commission, thinking about these things without actually ever mentioning CBD by name. And clearly, a common regulatory tactic is vagueness, is ambiguity. Regulators love ambiguity because it gives them limitless power, right? So the FDA is saying we're not going to talk about it. We're just going to kind of see what happens, and we're going to keep our cards close to our vest. And I think that's what's happening at FDA headquarters these days. Well,
and when you talk about CBD oil and hemp, and because they've been and have the same origins as marijuana, this goes all the way back to the propaganda film back in the
Reefer
50s,
Madness.
Reefer Madness. Marijuana, the weed with its roots in
Gateway
hell.
drug and all this stuff.
Yeah. So we're still dealing with a lot of that, too. We're still dealing with the leftovers from a majority of people being told that this stuff is bad and is bad for you and should be illegal, correct?
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe we should have started there, is that you can't get high from CBD oil.
Right.
But since it is derived from cannabis, people simply lump it together with this is just another step in the path towards recreational legalization. And I think that's kind of point one where it's got to be separated. And that's tough because people have that in their minds. It's been in their minds for a long time. It's urban legend. And, confusing the conversation with facts, as you know, sometimes doesn't really help.
Sure. No, and the same problem with hemp. I mean, there's a city in Texas, a town in Texas called Hemp Hill, Texas. Their major industry basically was cultivating hemp. Because it's a strong fiber, but because it is in the same family as marijuana, that has been it is looked down upon, and it's illegal still to cultivate hemp, I believe.
Now it's legal because of the Farm Bill. And that was the major reason that the Farm Bill wanted to take care of that, because it's an industry for a lot of small towns across the South, and it's not fair to have it be illegal because it is somewhat linked with illegal marijuana from which you can get high. So I think there's a path here towards kind of a logical conversation. I think part of the problem too is the people who are selling CBD oil, either online or in stores. They're sometimes they can be questionable retail people because they're not quite sure where the product came from or what the quality looks like, or what the dosage should be. So there's fault to be had on all sides. So I think maybe a good first step is kind of getting this group together to discuss the realities of what's happening, in the U.S. marketplace today.
Is this just happening for the sake of making money? I mean, you're taking an ultimate product, marijuana, as a plant, and you're breaking it up into CBD oil, hemp, cannabis for medical purposes. Is this just another path? Instead of saying, hey, let's legalize it, leave it alone, we can break it off bit by bit and sell those individual, quote, parts and make money off of it, and that's just what they're doing?
I think that's certainly part of it. I think the people who are in the CBD oil business are also in the recreational use business. They're in the gummy business. They're kind of in the broader, cannabis space. And I think that's dangerous because I think they are for anything that gets the government out of their hair relative to selling marijuana to people for recreational use. And I think those people are hitting a brick wall. A lot of people simply don't agree with that. There's a lot of good science behind it. CBD oil is, if CBD oil isn't viewed separately, it's going to be lumped in with medical marijuana, and we're in for a long haul relative to where that's going.
How far are we to the point where it is going to be legalized in our society?
Well, to me, it's troubling that it's being done on a state-by-state level, because when that happens, you have all sorts of, jerry-rigged regulations. And my big fear, one of many, is that, first of all, people shouldn't be smoking. Smoking is bad, whether it's tobacco or marijuana. And when we start talking about marijuana legalization for recreational use as kind of what's the big deal, let's get with the program, let's not be so stuffy, you're almost sending the implicit message that it's okay to smoke it. And I don't agree with that. If smoking, if anything, is a major public health hazard, it's complicated. And when it's done on a state-by-state level, you don't really get to a place where you have thoughtful regulations that the whole country can look at and understand and act on.
What is going to be the major method of consumption that'll bring on benefits, be it health or anything else from a cannabis CBD oil on this? What would you support?
Well, the only benefit of smoking marijuana is that it gets into your system and acts faster. So if you have, for example, acute pain, a gummy isn't going to give you that immediate relief, and smoking will. Right. But I think what you need is, some type of federal oversight as to the manufacturing quality, the dosing, what people can expect from it, and hopefully that doesn't lead to the discussion of, okay, we'll approve medical marijuana, but it has to be by prescription only. There are lots of kind of ins and outs here, but I think quality is a sine qua non. You've got to have some type of a federal oversight on quality. You've got to have some type of federal oversight on dosing. And in Colorado, for example, where they have all these gummies for sale, people don't know, eat a full one, eat a half one, eat two, eat four, and they're having negative consequences. So I think that's what happens when you don't have kind of smart health policy-driven oversight.
It's interesting. We are in the midst of this. It's a battle, essentially, between the states and the federal government, the states that have legalized it, and then the federal government, under which it is still a crime. And again, there are those who believe it should be a state's issue, but I see your point about having the regulations for public safety. Where's the next step? In other words, with the CBD oil, what is the next step for some common sense to find its way into legislation and separating it from marijuana? I mean, what happens next?
Well, sure. Well, I think that what's going to happen is the FDA has got to step up to the plate and say, listen, CBD oil exists. It exists in large quantities. It's being sold by a lot of people. The fact that we've said it's illegal doesn't seem to be slowing that down. But a lot of these products have questionable quality control, and they have questionable labels on them, and they're making claims they shouldn't be making. So rather than saying it's illegal, you can't do it, end of conversation, the FDA should say, listen, this is the reality on the ground. Congress has seen fit to decriminalize it. It's something you can't get high on. Let's work together so that people who are using this product can have some type of federal assurance that the products they're buying are of a certain quality and that the labels are accurate. That's a good place to start.
And what can the average person do to maybe push this down the tracks? Can they find more information at the Center for Medicine and Public Interest's website?
Well, I think that's an excellent first step. We're at cmpi.org, and there's information there. But Congress, I think, is open to this. And now that we're all worried about overuse of opioids, there's a lot of scientific literature out there that says that rather than taking opioids, CBD oil could conceivably be an alternative. And the science is young. It needs to be made more robust, but it's out there. And if CBD oil can be one tool in the fight against overuse of opioids, I think that people in Congress would be very keen to hear that.
You think they would they'd have the lesser of two evils instead of people drinking their problems away or sticking a needle in their arm with heroin? You think it would be a benefit for them to say, well, consume this instead, and this will, ease your pain a little bit?
Well, I don't think this is a methadone versus heroin type of discussion, but I think that it can be used relative to, alleviation of pain. And if we're looking for alternatives to opioids, a lot of people say CBD oil helps them. There are a lot of vocal patients and a lot of vocal physicians out there who sing its praises, and I think they should be listened to, and that their science should be, shared and people can debate it.
What's the main goal for those who don't know, what is the main goal for the Center for Medicine and the Public Interest? And you are a co-founder, correct?
Yeah, well, we're a not-for-profit, organization, and the Center for Medicine and the Public Interest really is focused on trying to advance medicines of all kinds and medical devices of all kinds, RX and OTC, to help patients, help bring about more 21st century smart regulation from the FDA, help the FDA be more predictable and less ambiguous, bring down the cost of regulation and raise the quality. So that keeps us pretty busy.
Mm-hmm. And again, people can go to the website, which is
cmpi.org.
cmpi.org. So it's the initials of Center for Medicine in the public interest. Peter Fitz, again, thank you so much for joining us here and hopefully shedding some light on this issue, because this is one of those things where I don't have I appreciate the phone call, Peter. Thank you so much. I don't, and Peter being, he obviously has faith in the government. I don't share the same faith in the government.
Love my country, hate my government.
But I understand what he's trying to say, that there are companies out there that are making products that aren't necessarily or could be contaminated with
Everybody does. Everybody
other
cuts their shit with stuff.
Sure.
Doesn't matter if it's the booze industry, anything else. I'm one of those guys. I've never smoked weed, never eaten in a brownie, never done it. I've been on the other side of the table where I've ruined people's lives by arresting them for it. It's a plant. I want to see it legalized. I want to see it decriminalized, legalized, because from the argument of it being a gateway drug, well, so is your first beer.
Right.
There's
yes, absolutely.
Polk County Sheriff. I can't remember his name. Polk County Sheriff he's always in the news. Well, every single suspect I've ever arrested, I talk about them, they've always smoked weed.
Right.
If you ask how many have had a beer, so from anybody who's going to take the stance of cannabis or anything else out there is going to lead to criminal activity, you're full of it. You're full of it.
And as he was saying, it's the connection between marijuana with THC in it, and then the CBD oils, which do not get you high. They don't have the same psychotropic drugs in them. And hemp. For crying out loud, hemp is a strong fiber.
I saw a car made out of hemp.
It's amazing stuff. And to even get these involved,
but who are you
in the
or
same
I,
argument?
Who is you and I or our government to tell anybody what if it gets you high? If I go and I leave here and I shove a box of Pop-Tarts in my face, it's going to give me a high feeling with the sugar.
Sure.
Why? It's not your business what I choose to do. I have no desire to smoke weed ever. It's not my business to tell you what to do. I'm so tired of this argument.
But let's get if we can at least help push the CBD oil
I'm going to
forward. No, John, not at all.
I want to see these people succeed.
CMPI.org, and you can get more information there, because at the very least, that should be available across the counter. The government's going to stick their nose in there
These
somehow or
health
other.
benefits from what this stuff does on
Yeah, it is amazing. And when we were at the dispensary in Vegas, the people who were walking in, it was a cross section of America. It was a cross section of the age demographics in America. It was people in their 20s, people in their 30s, people in their 60s walking in and buying edibles. They I think they had the CBD vape pens as well. This stuff works.
It's anti-inflammation. If the concept acid versus alkaline foods or anything like vegetables, all this stuff, and it's grown from sun into soil. Well, what is weed? Grown from sun into soil. Right. So when you put it right in your body, you're going to get alkaline benefits that absolutely benefit you.
It's been demonized from way back when, and most likely from the alcohol industry, who didn't want the competition. The tobacco industry is now, I think you're going to see them leaning farther and farther into the marijuana industry. And and we still have to clear up this idiotic confusion between the federal government and the state governments. When the Attorney General came out with Sessions and said that they were going to launch a full-scale attack on marijuana, it's like, good grief. Do we not have other things that we need to be focusing on?
You leave it up to the state. Now, I'm kind of ignorant on this one. That states can do whatever they want with it. The federal government doesn't step in.
Well, it's still the federal government. It is still illegal from it's still a federal crime. They years ago in Key West, the federal government came in, I think it was the tobacco firearms, came in and raided one of the head shops down there and took all of the bongs and the pipes and everything else.
I saw that video and it wasn't pleasant.
Right.
I saw it. The cops were,
it's crazy. I mean, the overreach in that case of a government agency is just nuts. If alcohol is legal, there's absolutely no reason for pot not to be legal.
I had a discussion with a friend of mine who's in the DEA, and he has a different stance, and I said I would like this in it when I ran for sheriff. My platform was I want to decriminalize cannabis because I don't see any benefit to prosecuting it. I don't understand the concept of the cause and effect would benefit with legalizing it. And what he had said is there's studies done that says based on how it would be introduced in our economy, we're not ready for it. It would be and I got to call him to get him on to hear what he said again.
Please do.
It would be disastrous to legalize it versus decriminalizing it because our economy just isn't ready for it yet.
It'll have to be. And the other issue with legalizing it is that, and people have brought it, it's a very valid point. What is the benchmark by which you are intoxicated?
Yeah. Yes.
There is no official benchmark. So, I mean, it should be, in my opinion, it should be legalized. And if you are driving under the influence of marijuana,
very hard to prove.
Right, but it should be the same the same penalty as driving under the influence of alcohol.
And though there is
cold medicine,
and there is all that stuff is Illinois Warning to Motorists talks about any intoxicating compounds, cannabis, all that. I had 10 cannabis DUI arrests, but I would ask,
what do they base it on? I mean, with alcohol,
my
it's
question,
your blood alcohol content.
So you'd have to get blood drawn, and I would pull you over. I'd say, hey, I smoke weed. Did you smoke? Yeah, but how long ago? 20 minutes ago. DUI.
But how do you know? The same people could be they could drink a half a bottle of vodka and their blood alcohol could be below the legal limit.
So alcohol's got the visual, literal impairment on scene.
Right.
On the DUIs, and that's why it's such a scam. I arrest you. You can't tell that I'm impaired. You just tell me you smoked 20 minutes ago. I arrest you. Now it's your job to go to court and prove that you weren't impaired.
Right.
That's how I ruin lives.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
The deck gets stacked again. And again, we're not condoning driving under the influence of anything.
I apologize if I arrested you for it.
You are affecting other people's lives. That's when you start getting into when you're driving under the influence, you are affecting other people's lives, especially if you get into an accident and injure or kill somebody. So that's where you're impinging upon my right to have to walk free about this earth. But it is certainly it's an interesting time to be alive and to watch this debate.
You know what you need? You need a breathalyzer in every car. That every single car, no car can start up unless you wind up blowing into it, and then it's got either your lungs or blowing in smoke or alcohol.
So I brought in we were playing with this a little bit earlier.
Oh, I know, it's so good.
This 38 police.
Yeah,
special.
you did.
This thing is
you get that unloaded. Thank you.
Yeah, I did. When I had it, it's on the spot. I said it's loaded.
Yeah.
But this thing is this is my favorite gun. This is an old Smith & Wesson. It is a special. It's a 38 Smith & Wesson special. This thing, the hair trigger on this thing is what a joy to shoot. Of course, this is sponsored by traguns.com, in case you hadn't guessed.
Get your stuff for the zombie apocalypse.
The other gun that I brought in to play show and tell with it takes this cartridge right here. Are you familiar with the little 410?
No, that I actually am not.
All right,
so this was for what now?
I'm going to show you in a second. That's a 410 shot shell.
Is this slug or buckshot?
That's buckshot.
It's got a wide spread. Oh,
this is
look
the
at
gun
that
into which
son of a bitch.
This is a Bond Arms snake slayer.
God.
This thing, look at the bore on this bad boy.
Oh my God.
Now you can imagine that. I think that'll take a 45 as well. 40.
I am instantly aroused.
It is.
Oh my God.
They call it a snake slayer because obviously, the first time I ever heard of a snake slayer, I was watching Longmire on Netflix, and it was so cool because obviously you've got a snake coming your way. You take that and it'll.
Listen. I cock back and listen. Oh my God.
It's louder with a shell in it.
Oh my God.
It is the coolest little gun, and I'm telling you, this is one of those.
Little. That's kind of.
It's beefy, isn't it? Although it does fit behind my mitt.
Yeah.
But these are look. If you have a love affair with a gun, chances are you'll find it at traguns.com. And the way that you can actually look at all of the guns there. Hey, Ron, can we bring my my screen back up
real
again?
Quick on Twitter? Stephen English, I disagree that pot is not a gateway drug, but not from the drug standpoint, but because you have to hang out with a criminal element to acquirement. Legalization would remove that aspect. You know, that's maybe 10 years ago. Now I think everybody and their mother's doing it, and I couldn't care less about it. So that's
he's saying that
because it's still illegal,
right? That
by default of the definition, you're around people who are obtaining it illegally or selling it illegally. Right. I get that. That's a fair statement, but you know,
well, they could.
It's because it's taboo. I mean, that's about it.
That's it. And
but so sleeping with your sister,
right? And don't knock it until you try it. Quite frankly, but TRA Guns is the place you can find the unique 360-degree view of the weapons when you are looking to buy. Is the man behind the guy behind the glass in there? Can he bring up the my computer screen full up on the Facebook feed, because I got one of these really cool guns. spinning around. And this is the view that you can see if you go to TRA Guns. And literally, it is so.
Oh my God!
Is that not the coolest? So if you're watching
expandable stock,
what do you want to bet? Facebook
need some sights on that thing?
Facebook is going to take us down for this one. But this, I mean, you can see literally. That's probably enough. Let's not push our luck. I'll bet you anything.
That's porn. That is porn. Oh, is that gorgeous?
That is a really. I'm going to bring in an M4 carbine.
You have it?
I don't have this one, but I have an M4 carbine at the house that I purchased. I still haven't.
See, I'm not as brave as you. I'm hesitant to say what I have. For the simple reason, I don't post on Facebook what I own.
I could be lying.
It's not enough for me to sit there and you get the.
We
heard you talking on MoJo 50 while you were in Texas.
I didn't say I owned it.
There you go. Okay.
I said I'm in possession, and again, I might be lying. But as a matter of fact, the only gun I will this one right
38
here
Smith
is the
&
38,
that's a nice
and that's
gun.
quite frankly, that's enough. If you ever knock at my door and you try to do something to
bring
to
two
me,
people, one to carry the box, the other to carry you.
Yeah, you're going to need help when you leave my my abode. But traguns.com, it is the place. Kurt and the gang there are just an amazing bunch, and they will help you in any way that they can. It is not. It's like a neighborhood gun store. That's really the coolest thing about traguns.com. Plus their prices, pretty amazing. traguns.com. Did you see the story about the guy?
Still waiting for my AR, TRA Guns. Sorry, go ahead.
I think, and Matlock is supposed to be picking the one up here that I think we're going to put on the back wall. See the guy who was attacked by the mountain lion?
I did. The guy's a hero. Yes. The mountain lion yelled, "This is MAGA country."
Yeah. And then he poured bleach on the guy and put a rope around his neck. The guy was attacked by this mountain lion and strangled the mountain lion.
Have you ever been around a cat?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so you know their back claws and this and that stuff. And they could you imagine grabbing the throat of a mountain lion, and it does the thing that a cat would do times 100?
Kicking with those back feet with those claws out. Does this guy still have an abdomen?
No. Well, you saw he had pictures. He scarred his face up, but not bad. I mean, he had a nice little big cut.
His left eye.
Yeah, I don't want to see a picture of the mountain lion because I don't want to believe it was like a cub. You know, I want to believe he got attacked by a 100-pound mountain lion, and then he just tore the shit out of it.
It says Travis Kaufman is the guy's name. He's 31. He's 5'10". He weighs 155 pounds. He had on shorts and a fleece, and was
he a vegan? He's a vape smoking vegan too.
155 pounds. That's tiny.
Yeah.
He decided not to listen to music on his run. He instead, so he had no earbuds in. So he hears apparently this mountain lion, turns around. It's about 10 feet away. He says, my worst fears were confirmed. He said he got this feeling in his gut. He put his arms up and he screamed to try to intimidate the lion, as the experts suggest. The lion. I also shat myself and peed all over myself, just in case that would help.
That's how the Democrats advocate you avoiding rape.
Its jaws locked onto my hand and wrist, pretty much stayed there the whole time. The big cat wrapped itself around the man's body, dug its front claws into its back. He has been
This happens to me at every cougar bar I go to.
Yeah, he says he knew how dangerous a cat's back legs could be.
Yep.
So he, I guess.
Let me guess. He turned around and offered his backside, like just turn around. Look
here.
Just get me this way, mountain lion. Get me this way, you naughty kitty.
He says he screamed a barbarian yell and went in for the kill. I got my right foot onto its neck, and then I was able to get some weight onto its windpipe. So he strangled it with his foot.
Yeah, he stepped on the friggin' thing's face.
Because again, a cat's neck muscles and a mountain lion.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some strong muscles. This guy, boy, he's got 8 lives left, because he sure used one of them.
Next, he's going to go strangle. He's going to go strangle a bear next.
Wow. Well, with the bear, they say you just lay there and play dead. It's like
in Boys Town.
Man, look, there's only an arm left. Bob is sure playing dead well. There's only an arm left.
I'm your bear daddy.
Wow. This is your Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The self-described Democratic socialist, he ran for president once before, and Bernie Sanders is hoping the second time is the charm, announcing he is running for the Democratic presidential nomination in 2020.
The Vermont senator stunned the political establishment in 2016 with a strong challenge of eventual Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton. This time, he wants to do what she couldn't.
It is absolutely imperative that Donald Trump be defeated.